My husband stole over $300,000 from my family. I can't trust him again.
Maybe you should try it again.
Maybe try again. This is a long story, but I'll try to write it as quickly as possible. First, I should say I've been married for 7 years, together for 11, and we have 3 young kids. I'm a small business owner, an artist, and he has a corporate job. By the way, this comes from No Dependent 6099, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So in the summer of 2022, I was looking on our online banking because I got an overdraft notice. Then, looking at some of the charges, I noticed that there were some weird, larger charges. I asked my husband what the company was, and it was Stocks.
Yeah, Jerkmate's stocks, babe. I promise.
Stocks Incorporated. Hey, no free sponsors.
Jesus Christ.
Greasyfeet.com. Yeah, those are stocks.
Oh, no.
Actually, those are mutual funds, so
Oh, no.
don't worry about that.
Oh, will this YouTube episode stay up? Just barely. So then I started adding it up and freaking out as it totaled into $26,000. That's a lot of feet, ladies and gentlemen. So I lost my mind. We had a huge blow-up conversation about it. He was sweating, like absolutely losing his mind because he never added it up. I was so destroyed because he'd been stealing from our family. Saving is so important to me, and I've been the only one able to get us any savings throughout our relationship. When we got together, I totally financed our whole wedding, put the cash down for our house, etc., etc. I didn't ask much or want to prod because I didn't want him to feel bad that he didn't come into our relationship with money. So he was stealing from our family, taking money from my biz to put into our checking because he'd been overdrafting our account.
Oh, dude. Here's my question.
Please.
If he's strategic doing this to his own family,
Yeah.
What's his day job?
I know he works in corporate.
Yeah. I was expecting the inverse of her to be like, hey, I'm an artist and, I make a fine living, but it's nothing crazy. And he's corporate. But it seems like it's the inverse. She's like Banksy over here, just like rolling in the bank.
Yeah.
And he's just working at like, I don't know, Stocks Incorporated as a low level, as a mail boy or something. His corporate mail boy job. I don't know. Like,
Where's he learning these tricks from?
yeah.
Also, if you're buying stocks, when did you buy them and when are you planning to sell them? Or, I need a game plan there.
What's the portfolio looking like right now? We actually haven't seen that yet. Maybe they're multi-millionaires.
Hope so. Did you get crypto? I have a lot of questions here.
Put it all in Doge. Well, it was a huge blow, and I've had trust issues with him before in our relationship, not presenting whole truths, omitting details, etc. I didn't tell a soul, which was so hard, but it was so private. The money was already gone.
Oh.
So it's not only like the portfolio's down, it's like there isn't any money.
No. Oh my gosh.
And I told him to take everything out of stocks and don't ever speak another word about stocks again. But babe, this one's about to go to the moon.
Cheese coin, please.
Cheese
Let me
coin.
invest in cheese coin right now.
Come rocket, literally going to the moon off of baby juice. Now, savings has always been so important to me. Living well under my means, financial planner from age 24, etc., etc. And he's just so different from me in this way. We end up getting pregnant in early 2023 because remember, this was in 2022 when all of this went down. So now we're like, let's call it like 6 months or so later.
Okay.
Now we're having a baby.
Oh my god.
Our savings are drained. And he actually got laid off in the end of 2022.
Bro, if you got laid off, maybe you shouldn't be laying without the rubber. Hot take.
This might be Riley's golden rule.
Hot take.
Laid off on the job, can't get laid without the rubber.
Yep. Laid off on the job.
What did you say? You said something different.
I don't know. There's something there, though.
So there's something there. There's something there, ladies
If you
and
just got
gentlemen.
laid off, don't be off and without it on.
Got it.
Boom.
I work my butt off while I'm pregnant to make more, to take on more work and set aside a good chunk of money so I can have a maternity leave. American maternity leave is a whole other topic.
And his mindset's like, well, babe, you basically have the power of 2 people in you. So, yeah, just keep working harder. Like,
Can we get the baby a DoorDash account or something? Like, can we get it on Fiverr?
hey, we could probably get them set up on stocks real quick. Like,
Yeah,
get a head start on that.
Dude, teach the baby how to trade stocks. They just it's like, those videos where they'll put a treat on 2 things and then they'll all right, we've got a Cheerio on Apple or Google.
Yeah.
Where are we going, baby? That would actually be
Or kicks to buy or sell. Like
Oh,
kick,
right.
buy,
Right
sell.
kick buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would actually be a great account. You literally just have a baby picking stocks by eating Cheerios off of a square. New content ideas.
There we go.
So then we go a whole year remodeling our house, which we took a HELOC, a loan for $80,000. At the end of the remodel, I'm 37 weeks pregnant, and I notice $16,000 getting pulled from our bank account. I wonder where this might be coming from.
And I have a theory that more got pulled because who did the remodeling and who maybe was contracting people out for certain things. Babe, we got to buy a new sink combobulator because our combobulator's not really working right now.
But like, how, like I get investing in the stocks, but what is he like?
Yeah, where's this money going?
Where's it going? So I text him to see what it was for. He tells me that the home loan bank doesn't have the cash on hand, so he had to pull from my inheritance money. I'd received $125,000 from a relative's passing. We were setting aside for a second residence for residual income in a separate account that he still had access to. So then he calls me back and tells me that he actually made a huge mistake. And when I told him to get everything out of stocks, he left $3,000 and then it turned into a $25,000 loss. Sam the Caterpillar and Lady Morrigan said gambling and rugs and other women. Yeah, something is going on here
Yeah.
that is not stocks.
But it's okay. Are we going to stay together? Are they staying together? Let's say they stay together. It's okay, babe. Just for the next 25 months, you're going to have to come up with $1,000 and pay me back. Until then, you're indebted to me.
Yeah.
You're mine.
Because like even going for childcare or not childcare payments, even if it's a child support payments, as we've learned on the show, are
Super low.
Keon, can you look up really quickly what the minimum required child support in California is? I'm going to say either $412. I'm going to go with $412.
You're really close, actually. $430 per month.
Yes, we've looked this up before.
$430 per month, but this again, California. It could be different in other states.
Yeah, so in California, I think that's like on the high end.
Yeah, I was gonna say California probably has a higher end, but
Yeah, other states, I think like we looked up Alabama, it was like $100 a month or like something like. Yeah. Let's check Alabama. Like it's so low. So even like getting divorced and suing for child support or I don't know what is it.
it's $50. It's not even triple digits.
50? That's illegal. That we have to make that illegal.
What can you buy with $50 in today, you know?
A month? A month? That's
Right?
Netflix. Great. The baby can watch Cocomelon.
Okay.
That's it.
Just feed it Cocomelon.
Feed it Cocomelon and it's
Kim
going
was
to
$12. Kim finds is $12 a month. That's insane.
Okay, that's literal. Bro said, sorry, Netflix is more important than my child. $12 a month
Dude, people got priorities.
is insanity.
I got to catch up on Seinfeld.
This needs to be fixed. Okay, so anyways, yeah, I feel like the tough part here is OP's kind of screwed either way she goes in terms of like trying to get the money back. I mean, she can try, but I'm honestly, at this point, A, lock him out of all accounts first, like immediately, and then B,
Where's the money going?
where's the money going? And then C, we might have to let this man go.
Yeah.
It's because they already had the big, like, okay, we sat down, we figured it out. He's already broken my trust before. Now that he does the same thing again and he's continuing to steal from her. Yeah. I think
Wild.
some sort of addiction, I think here, but we're going to see. So then he tells me that the money in the home loan, the HELOC, was gone and he had been pulling from money from there too. He also stole all the money in our young daughter's bank account, $6,000. I was beyond hysterical. I basically collapsed, but then I had to give birth. So I had to compartmentalize it. I finally told someone and told my best friend and my sister. He let me do a whole remodel in 2023 and going over budget. Yeah. Oh, thanks for letting me spend more money that were like bleeding out. Thanks for that. Knowing that the money in the home loan HELOC account wasn't even there to pay for them at the end. Actual psychotic behavior. I don't have access to the home loan, the HELOC account. What? and we had to use the remaining of my inheritance to pay for the remodel. So again, just to make sure we're on the same page here, he has access to her inheritance. She does not have access to the home loan account of the home, by the way, she put the whole down payment for. What is happening? I was like, how did you let me do this remodel knowing the money was gone? Like, we have to pay our vendors. When I asked him what the F was your plan when the money wasn't there to pay them, why did you let me do that? He says, I wanted you to be happy. Wanted you to be happy.
Bro, we gotta like somehow read this man's mind and see what's actually happening. I have no grasp on this dude. Where's this money going? Why are you saying I want you to be happy? Like, what's happening?
Something is like he is doing some severe stuff under the surface that I feel like we're going to get dropped on us sometime later in the story. Like, it cannot be. He's just like stupid.
Yeah.
This is not just stupidity. This is like he's doing
Because if it was
something.
stupid, he would have been caught earlier. He's very strategic in how he's getting this money.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. He's pulling, like he's apologizing because he got caught. That's what it's giving here. So, November. I have the baby and focus on being a full-time mom. He doesn't get paternity leave. We have 2 other young kids as well. It's been so hard. I have money from my business and about $40,000 left from what I came into the marriage with, but our checking account was basically empty and all of my inheritance, the $125,000, was gone. So overwhelming because I couldn't work right away because I'm a small business owner and don't make money on maternity leave.
We should re-record this title intro.
Yeah. A new title. Yeah, I
think it's at 200K now. 150, 125, 150, 100. I say like 200K has been stolen.
Yeah, she's just watching her. 200,000 is, it's, you have to have some sort of addiction or something to just spend that amount. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Then yesterday, I finally get the time to look through all of our bank statements and see how wildly he was spending money. He spent $30,000 of my inheritance within a month of me getting it. I transferred it to another account ASAP because I was like, holy crap, this is getting spent quickly. He was getting takeout like 2 to 3 times a day, every few days. Starbucks, he would spend $100 to $200 every few days on Devil's Lettuce, getting Uber Eats sometimes multiple times a day, which he is saying his account is hacked and he only did 1 time a day. Lies.
He probably can't be eating that much a day though. So who's he sending it to?
I'm sorry, Uber Eats and Starbucks doesn't account for $200,000.
Yeah.
You would have to be like just IVing coffee lattes into your veins 24/7 to spend $200,000 or something around that, like 100, 200 grand. All in all, $65,000 of my money was gone within months. Even after I transferred it into another account, he was still taking money and putting it into our savings. I realized how dumb I am that I wasn't tracking his daily spending. I have never tracked his spending. I thought he was a normal person. We're in the same house. I know when he buys something or goes shopping. I thought that was the extent of his shopping. We even had an agreement to run it by the other person if we were spending more than $300. Bro said, bet I will make $5,299 transactions. And that's what we're going to do. Now the numbers are that I know about: $25,000 originally taken out of our checking, money out of my business, $6,000 from our daughter. When I found out he cleared her bank account, I wanted to throw up. I just can't believe this. She obviously has no idea. I told him he's going to put all the money back. It's not even money we've set aside for her. It's money that she's earned modeling. It's literally her money.
You're stealing from your own kid?
It's from your child, bro? Something is so wrong here. In a follow-up, I asked what this money was used for. It was paid when his stocks that were lost were margin called. I have no idea what any of this means, and I think we're about to have a clear idea of what's going on here. So he took money from the home loan, the HELOC, and then our daughter's account to pay over $30,000, and $20,000 was credited from what he had on his online portfolio. $50,000 loan in total that he took out to bet on stocks. I mean, trade. I just can't even. I'm going to super quickly pause here to explain what Opie's talking about. So margin trading. So buying stocks is like, oh, I buy a stock for $10. It goes to zero. I lose $10. Oh, okay. I lost $10, but I can only lose up to $10. Margin trading is where you essentially make a different kind of bet than just like, oh, just buying the stock outright. And you can lose or earn multiples of what you have. So for instance, if I have $10, it could be like, oh, hey, I'm going to make a margin call and I'm going to make a bet that's either going to give me $100 or I'm going to lose 100. So I have the 10, so I'll owe $90. So what he's doing, he's taking $10,000. Oh, let me make this bet. Oh, it didn't work out. Now we're in $20,000 in debt. And I think what he's doing here is when he loses, he's siphoning money out to cover the losses and then
doing it again.
Go back again. Like, okay, I've pulled money from our other accounts. I've been able to pay off the margin trade, but now I have pressure to make that money back to replace back into the accounts.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's what he's doing.
This is where we're at right now.
$81,000. $81,000, ladies and gentlemen. This is insanity. A lot of our home loan, HELOC to pay his debts, $80,000. Cashed out his equity from work, $30,000. He racked up $47,000 in credit card debt. First, he told me it was only $25K. Then I pressed him the next day, being like, "Is $25K even the amount?" He confessed it was actually $47,000. $65,000 of my inheritance on devil's lettuce.
He's got to be like trying to start his own business or something.
Stocks. So it's a list now. So devil's lettuce, stocks, an insane amount of take on fast food. The remaining $60K of inheritance we had to use to pay off the remodel from the money he stole from the HELOC, taxes, and our third child's birth. There is now $4,000 left. $4,000.
Guess how much it is. Guess.
$150.
Keon?
175. A little too high? Too low? What are we at?
$363,000. If I did that math right, that's how much this man has racked up.
Ali said he should be in jail. That is exactly correct.
Because from his credit card debt to taking money to doing this,
It's all him.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, from the loans he's taken out of, $363,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MJ Gross says, take it, the $4,000 and divorce him. Let's invest in divorce. And also, like...
Do a margin trade on that?
Yeah, let's margin trade on our divorce. I wonder if, and chat, maybe if we have any legal people in the chat right now, you guys can chime in, but I wonder if she can divorce him and then also then sue him for that amount. Being like, hey, I didn't authorize any, he took it from like my inheritance. Like, there's got to be at least some accounts in there that were like more clearly hers and like... points.
The inheritance one.
Yeah, like that I would guess is like, hey, legally, Bob gives OP the money. That is OP's money. Legally speaking, the joint accounts, everything else might be hard to like.
But depending on the
legally.
state you're in and maybe like,
you know,
if
it's
you're
fuzzy.
married,
it's fuzzy. They're joint accounts. So I imagine there's probably a lot of the money that she couldn't get, but is there like 100 of the 300 that we can be like, hey, we're going to garnish your paycheck until you've paid her $100,000.
Goodness, what? What?
Divorce. No counseling, no nothing. You know what we usually say on the show. Divorce, run away, sue this man for $300,000. That's
I like
exactly
Lucy
what we need
P's here. Take a life insurance policy out on him and send him to the sun.
Lucy P, that is one way to do it right there.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, man. So a lot of this was going on in 2023 while he was unemployed for 9 months.
Nah, he had a job. It was spending your money.
Yeah.
That was his job.
Listen, instead of earning a salary, he was spending a salary, right?
Spending 3 salaries.
Yeah, spending 3 salaries, dude. The main spending was going on while he was employed in 2022. And then he was covering up all that he lost over 2023 and dealing mentally, knowing all year he had this huge sum that was going to be collected on, not telling me until literally the last day possible. And who knows what else. This whole time, I've been saying he needs to lead us on this, present me a plan, tell me all the numbers. He hasn't done any of that. It's like hoping it goes away. He hasn't once brought up how he's going to pay the debt because he's in touch with a debt collector. I've had to ask him each time. I feel like he will just let this dissolve into the background unless I keep telling him about it. I'm driving the boat. It's exhausting. That is the understatement of the space-time continuum.
She's got 3 kids, probably just had a kid while this is all going on.
She got a fully baked. She's been carrying this baby for 15 months, a very normal, reasonable time to carry a baby around. Very normal. This is crazy. But then yesterday, I had to sign a big letter from FedEx, and I opened it because I could see it said notice, like final notice. And I saw that it was the final notice to figure out a plan for the $25,000 credit card debt, or it will go to a lawsuit on April 1st.
I thought it was 47,000. Is this another 25?
It's probably a different card or something
Oh
like that.
shoot!
Maybe-
Okay,
yeah, maybe
25
it's-
to that. All right, now we're at $388,000.
That it might have been 25 out of the 47, maybe. There's a lot of numbers being thrown out here.
Yeah.
The notice said April Fools, you know?
Oh, dude, imagine this was a prank.
Gotcha.
I mean, honestly, at this point, a prank would be way better than the actual scenario they're in,
Yeah.
being down 300K or so. I'm not a person to investigate stuff, which is totally proving to be a huge mistake of mine. Yes, OP, you are well within your right to investigate all of this. You are, oh my God, yes, it's okay. It's okay. Investigate. So all in all, he is presenting that he is telling me it all now, but who knows? I don't know. So I feel like he's just avoiding it. I finally lost it again on him yesterday. Like, tell me this info. Don't you think I'd want to know that this is going to be a lawsuit April 1st? He finally called them now yesterday and got it settled. We have started paying $1,000 a month to repay his debts, which we currently don't have an extra $1K a month as it is. We also have the $600 HELOC bill a month. We had to pull our daughter out of her after school care because we shouldn't be paying that $500 a month for that. They have to take their daughter out of after school care because they have to pay off his debts. My
You're
God.
literally affecting your child's trajectory here.
Dude, and he stole all her money. We can't forget that too.
Yeah.
Or one of the kids. Now I'm going to have her home all summer, a baby, and be expected to work full time from home and somehow be the breadwinner while caring for 2 kids at home. All our financial stability is gone. We have emergency money that's under my business savings, but I'm not letting us touch that. Please tell me he does not have access to that. I don't know what we need. I think we need to lock him in a cage at this point and just feed him slop from a can.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the only way you can survive.
God, it's literally all we have to our names now. We should have been set after the $125,000 gift, the inheritance. We could have used it to get a second residence to have residual income and finally have savings for our family. Now it's all gone along with so much of our other money. I told him he needs to get some remote job at night from home to make extra money because we're not going to be able to pay for his debt on top of all of our normal bills, and I am not going to dig into our emergency money to pay his debt. So we're going to get into the next section, which is asking for advice. Let me see how long this is. Yeah. So before we get into that, let's give some of our advice here and break this down.
Divorce. For certain.
Divorce.
I'm just baffled that $363,000 is gone through margin trading, stocks, the devil's lettuce, takeout, like all this miscellaneous things. $363,000.
I mean, I could see the margin trading with the stocks being it, but yeah, I'm also too like, is there not something? Is there like an addiction? Is there another woman like?
It just isn't adding up.
Yeah, he could do it. He could just be addicted to doing these, like, kind of like what we were talking before, like a Ponzi scheme almost, where he's like, he does a margin call, loses tens of thousands of dollars, pulls in tens of thousands of dollars, and does the same thing over and over and over and over again until he's like almost 400K in the hole. But my God. Yeah, and chat right now is sounding off that we need... could you scroll up a little bit? Legal separation and all money goes into an account in her name only. Yeah, absolutely. And like, again, I want to know, can we divorce and then sue him? So every paycheck he gets is paying back OP until all the money we can legally like force him to pay basically is paid back to OP.
20 years. I don't even think this guy could come up with that money at all.
I don't think that's why I'm like garnish the wages, because I think OP's literal only hope to get any money back from this is to have it taken out of his paycheck and sent directly to her. Otherwise, he's going to gamble it away, basically.
Yeah. What's the advice say? Because I'm trying to give advice, but I don't even know what the heck to do in this scenario.
I mean, the big picture, like we said, is divorce, but not just divorce. Like, how do we get our money, everything, like the kid, honestly, everything. We for OP's mental health, I think just like being completely away from this person, I think will at least alleviate some of the stress.
I had something like this happen to a family member where like one of their sons racked up $80,000 in credit card debt, and then just they had to cut him off. They were just like, you can't do it. And then they I think they went to legally like in a civil suit or something like that. I don't know what the outcome of it is, but the dad completely does not talk to the son.
Yeah.
And the son, I haven't really heard much of it. And then something in that family happened recently where like now the son and the other son have to talk, and the dad doesn't want anything to do with it because their mom is sadly passed. And it's like, oh, it's getting like,
when you steal from family, yep, that's what happens.
It's crazy.
That's
dude.
what happens.
It's crazy.
Oh boy. Okay, so let's get into this advice here. So Opie says, I need some advice. Yes, this is so outside my wheelhouse. I know I need to check his credit to see if he's gotten anything else, and I'm guessing mine and my kids. I come from a divorced family at age 5, and it was so painful growing up. That's the last thing I want, but I feel so numb. I'm so wildly betrayed. OP, it is okay. I would get the divorce. I think you are so much better off. But anyways, he's been lying and hiding for years. Took our daughter's money from my business. He's obviously apologetic, but in my heart, I just don't know if I can get feelings for him, like romantic feelings back for him. I feel so unsafe, unsure of what he's done or will do to us. He's saying he's a new person. That's not him anymore.
Yeah, there's another person in the mix here. I feel like OP's so shocked at what's happened. Once she looks at the Uber Eats, like, okay, this is enough for 2 people. Okay, devil's lettuce for 2 people. There's no way someone can consume that much.
There's a new person, all right. Or maybe new people, like a secret wife and a kid. I don't know.
Oh!
I don't know.
Secret family.
So, I don't know.
The margin tradings is signing my other kid up for lacrosse.
Yeah, this is 2 affair children, stock and margins. But even a few days ago, he still wasn't presenting the full truth. He's not lying. He's avoiding telling me the full truth, which is so frustrating. And that is lying. And a few months ago, he only told me the updated truth because I happened to see money get taken out that day. Who even knows what truths he would have told me if I never found out all this on my own? He never even told me or added up himself how much he lost of our money, how much he took from us, etc. We have 3 small kids. One is a 3-month-old baby, and I'm the primary caregiver. I am hustling and left my maternity leave before I wanted. This is my last baby, and basically as soon as I walk out of the medical phase, I'm back to work again. I have to provide. A divorce for a woman and a small business owner without a corporate employer is complicated. I'm on his insurance. I don't have a set salary, etc. And obviously we make more as a couple to pay for our house. I can't afford the house mortgage on my own. Well, with all the other living costs if I was single, I don't want to move, find housing, etc. And with 3 small kids, and we live in a very expensive city. We have no family in town, and being a single mom would be an enormous struggle for me with no family here. I don't want to start over, but I just don't know if I'm ever going to feel that connection to him again. I just feel numb. I know that may take time. I don't know what to do. I'm not going to decide anything quickly. Yeah, I mean,
sadly, it feels like the reset button is being pressed with or without you.
Yeah, like it's happening, like whether you're here for it or not, or like whether you want to press that button or not. Like,
it's wild.
Man, I feel like just being partners, living together and raising our kids is what's the best option at this point, and just forego the romantic part of the relationship. But that is so sad to me, and I deserve more than that. Divorce with 3 kids, right? Yes, you do deserve that. He is a great dad. Incorrect. He stole from his child. But I feel so numb, romance and partner-wise to him. I'm truly scared I won't have feelings for him again. This betrayal is so beyond the worst case scenario for me. I wish so bad he would have just cheated on me. At least I wouldn't be thinking about how much groceries and gas are. Dude, when you wish your partner was just cheating on you.
Which is worse, getting cheated on or $388,000 being stolen from you?
You can replace a partner. You can't replace the $388 immediately.
Yeah. Well, money comes and goes.
Yeah, you lose $380,000, you get no more dollars. Fluctuation of life. not only do I have to worry he may do something like this again, we just view money and spending so differently. I'm afraid I'm going to have to lead him on our finances forever, which I never wanted to do that for my husband. I love being independent and make my own money, but I wanted a husband to lead me. Is he really changed? Can we heal? Is it broken forever? Will I ever get feelings back? Will he do something like this again? I don't want to hurt my kids. Divorce is so painful and I grew up with it, let alone imagining having 50% custody of them or something like that would unalive me. I'm so lost, so betrayed, and feel so alone in my own marriage. All of the stuff is so not my wheelhouse, and I'm not an investigator. My 2 friends that I know and 1 sister are helping me, but any actual financial advice is helpful. I don't even know where to begin aside from checking his credit. I have my own money too with a financial advisor as my 401k for retirement that he doesn't have access to. Thank God. He's ruined our financial stability, and I'm so beyond betrayed. Divorce is such a huge undertaking. Like, we have a life, a house, assets, shared group of friends. I'll be a single mom to 3 kids. Lawyers and all that would probably use all the money I have, I'm guessing. That's not where I'm at right now, but I never considered it so much until this week. It's truly not even the money, even though that is maddening to me. It's being able to trust him. I just wonder, can you get that back? Will I always feel this way? I'm so disconnected from him as a partner now because of all of this. And am I dumb for staying? And can I ever get trust back in a meaningful way in our marriage? This is not the first thing to chip away at my trust in a relationship, but definitely the biggest. This is like a plot to a movie, except it's my life. I can't believe I'm in this mess because of who I'm tied to and just how royally completely dumb he was making bad decision after bad decision involving so much money and money that wasn't even his. I worked so hard to have financial freedom, not to mention $125,000 that could have really set us up for stability now gone, and marrying him ended up being the worst financial decision I've ever made. There's so many more details, but this is the main story. So we've got more, and we have... Yeah, I'll get to this update real quick. I feel like a lot of my emotion isn't in the post, it's all the details. When I found this all out, I felt like I passed away inside. I was about to have a baby. It was honestly so overwhelming. I cried so much that it impacts my life and my kids' lives was done without any regard for our well-being. He is saying this is all of it. I just don't know if it is, or will there be more in the future. What I've done so far, change the banking passwords. Yes, we need that. He has no access to that. Need to run all our credit. My business money has always been in a different account. He now doesn't have access to it because he doesn't have online access to our bank account. Lock him out in physical too. Like every single way here, we need to do this. Pray to God there isn't more ready to be unearthed. And we have an update from the comment section actually, but
dude, I feel so bad for this woman because she's trying to restore a relationship that is completely gone. I mean, you can see that too. She wants someone that can lead her. He feels so mad at him for being dumb. Not like I'm totally done and like gone with this man. And the one sentence that just puts it into the cement, permanent. I'm not the person I used to be. From those words, you can now see his actions and realize you're not his priority. His kids aren't his priority.
Yeah.
And he's only worried about himself and whatever the heck he wants to spend his money on. You're not one of those things he's trying to protect. And from what I see, OP, you want someone that is a leader and a protector. He's changed. That's not him. You're going to have to figure out a way to go on without him. Like, it's a new ball game now.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, he is 110 million% untrustworthy. You can't trust literally anything. So we have to assume everything he says is a lie to be conservative, to be prepared for the worst. And I do think too, I obviously feel so much for OP, and chat is kind of saying this right now and has been throughout this story, but she had a divorce. You know, her parents were divorced rather growing up. There comes a point where you kind of have to sit down and say, okay, I obviously went through a divorce as a kid, but this scenario, and like, yes, ideally you don't go through a divorce having children, but you don't go through divorce because you have a healthy functioning relationship. Like it's you not divorcing is just the byproduct of just having the good relationship. So you kind of like OP, like, again, I'm not trying to bash on her, but there comes a point where it's like you have to kind of get over the fear of the divorce and say, this just needs to happen.
And Renee, could you go up for a second? I'm going to call someone out. Renee, no, the leader comment just gave me such a nick. Please don't ever say that again, Riley. She said that. That's what she said in her relationship.
She did say that.
And I'm just referring to, because I've seen this in my life before a lot, that's what she wanted and expected out of the relationship, but she can no longer rely on that because he's not a reliable person whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
Sophia said in the chat, some women do like to be led. It's a matter of preferences. Yeah. If someone is basically like, hey, can you like be in charge of finances? That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And then the other person's like, oh yeah, that's actually what I like to do. Match.
and it sucks. They've been together for 11 years, and now
3 kids.
within the last 2-3 years, this comes up. What do you do? What
It
can
happens.
you do? You've just been girl bossing, doing
Yep.
your own small business,
Yeah.
paying for your wedding in
Paying
cash.
for your own wedding, paying for your house.
And he's over here. He probably got bored doing a corporate job, seeing. I probably should say, but I've seen people in the corporate world where they just kind of do a little bit of this and they just kind of hang
yeah.
out and they get bored. And dude, I'm telling you, when I get bored, I'm like the worst person ever. I need something to like encourage me to like keep
Yeah.
going and doing something crazy.
You need the golden retriever's ball
Yeah.
to be constantly like
Yeah.
running after it.
Exactly. Yeah. So and he's probably bored and he's like, he's literally, he's addicted and he's just spending his money away and he's just wasting his time. That's his life, dude.
It's insane how little care he has for his wife and his children. Like literally none.
Yeah, and I think she's hit with denial right now. She still thinks there's a way to get this back together.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact after this update, she's going to start going more and more into, he also did this. He also said this to my mom. Like the red flags are going
Yeah.
to be popping up left and right here.
Well, Riley, we do have said update sitting here on my lap.
Oh boy. Can I use the bathroom?
Please go.
Okay. I'll be right back.
We need to take a little break, ladies and gentlemen, because this is too much. So Helena Bain says in all caps, she needs to understand that she is and has been leading this whole relationship. This is true. Dread04 says he sounds like he got into GameStop stocks deal too late and was trying to catch the next big boom. Guys, just wait till it goes back up. AMC, I swear, like it's coming back. What do you think about all this, Keon?
It's a difficult situation. I think someone had a comment earlier, and it's hard for OP because she was also just gave birth.
Yeah.
And like she's worried about that and like is in like shell shock. That was what they said. Let me see if I can find the comment, because that was actually a really good comment that stuck out to me. I don't know if we can find it. It's a little bit further up. Right here. Amy Dean. OP's in shell shocked and is in a hormonal turmoil after giving birth. She'll come to her senses, hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, like OP, there's like just the thought about this, it doesn't seem real to me.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem real.
It's
that
insane.
if my partner did this and took that amount of money, I would be baffled. And like, that's not who
Carly.
I
Yeah.
win.
So
Do you have something
Keon,
to tell us?
Honestly, Keon, you should get ahead of that and go ahead and check her credit and
Yeah.
maybe see any debtors and see if she's got anything behind closed doors.
We need to figure out we need to get to the bottom of this, guys.
Right now, we can't let this happen to Keon.
Yeah, we've seen it happen once.
Not to anybody else.
We can't let it happen again. Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Like, happy birthday. All your money's gone.
Yeah, all right. But ladies and gentlemen, that's fake it, but this is real. This next update is staring us in the face. Let's get into it. So, update from the comment section. I don't remember if I had posted stuff on this, but he had us in deferment from our mortgage from when he was laid off, and he said we are going to start paying it again in November, which has always come from his salary. And then I found out in March that we actually weren't paying for it since December. Gotta love it. We paid it once, then he extended the deferment. So basically he made one payment so he could skip all the others.
Oh, my gosh.
He had gotten another deferment without even telling me. I was effing livid. I found out because we got some notice in the mail saying, we've been trying to get a hold of you, and if you don't respond, there could be a lien on your house. That's right. We could now become homeless. Well, he had just got home from work and I was in full panic, and he was like, they sent that by accident. I just got off the phone with them, etc.
They said that by accident?
Lies. Oh, my blood is boiling with the
Hey,
level of
John.
lies going on.
You owe me $125,000 or I'm going to take your apartment and car. Oh, Riley was just said that by accident. It just slipped out.
It's just,
Just one of
it's
those
okay.
things.
It's all good. God. I'm like, this sounds like a perfect excuse. Apparently, they did send it by mistake. What?
Okay, what? Who's telling you this? Them
Okay.
or your husband?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
There's one you can definitely know is not right.
New eviction notice from Photoshop.com. Oh my God. They hadn't updated that we were allowed the deferment. I don't know. It all seems too convenient. If there is something that gets messed up with our home, I will lose my mind. I need to look at our checking to see the transactions because I had thought the money had come out of our account, or I was just assuming it comes out of the checking, which I don't use. I use my points card, and his salary goes into that account. So that's what got me into this mess, is I haven't tracked his spending. Yeah, we don't know where it seems like we don't know where any of the money is going. Anyhow.
Wait, what's that one? Like rocket something?
Cum rocket?
No. Rocket money.
Rocket money.
So you can track where everything's going. What's that called?
That? I don't know.
Like it's like Rocket Mortgage or like that online thing app.
Where you can like track where your
Yeah,
money's
get
going.
one of those apps that track where all the spending's going and sign them up for it.
Please.
You'll be like, oh, so yeah, that's
Anything.
what you need.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we're gonna start therapy soon. That to me sounds like they're staying together.
Girl.
I've been deep in my thoughts about it all. Obviously, I have love for him. I've been dealing with him my whole adult life, but like I feel nothing. I feel no attraction or desire for him. I feel passed away about us as a couple. Like I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to get back there with him. Divorce, even just splitting up our effing home assets sounds impossible. This is not what I wanted or ever saw for myself, but I don't know if I'm going to get it back for him. I feel so effing heartbroken about my kids. I have a 5-month-old baby. Splitting up time with my kids sounds horrific, but I don't know at what point I'm going to be settling. It's at this point. Staying with him is settling. Yes. Can I ever get trust back? And more so, can I ever get my attraction back to him? And what's the answer, Riley? No.
Run. He doesn't have attraction for you anymore because he's spending your money as a couple. It's gone.
He is busting nuts worth tens of thousands of dollars.
She's in denial because I don't blame her. She's afraid to start over.
Every time he clicks that trade button, bro is creaming.
And I feel horrible for this woman because if she decides to go down the path of separation, no more city, no more small business. She's going to have to go to a small town with her kids into her mom's house, her sister's house. And that's going to be her new life. And she has to start over. Like that's scary. Like,
yeah. And I feel like if we start over now, I mean, he's already taken so much. It's kind of hard to imagine. At least I will say, here's one thing we haven't said. At least they aren't, well, I was going to say at least they aren't in debt but they have $4,000 cash, I think, not $4,000 positive on their net worth. They have to be in debt.
Yeah.
He's
in heck debt.
Oh man. It's been months and I've been asking to be kept in the loop, telling me what's going on. I've told him he needs to get a side job to pay for his debt, which starts in May. That was a whole other maddening convo because he was not upfront about that info either, and I had to ask over and over about it before I finally got the info. By the way, if you are angry, like everyone sitting in this room is right now, one thing that could be used sometimes as a calming device.
Very rarely, but
sometimes it does happen. You can listen to our full podcast with 2,000 episodes. Go to Spotify, Apple, or iHeart and search OK Storytime and listen to that. But Riley, we are almost at the end.
Macer's Racer said it. I'm really getting mad at OP for not protecting the kids.
Yeah.
Back asking him, been getting on him for months. Girl, you do not have time or space, frankly, or resources to be asking. It should be demanding or you're gone.
Yeah.
You can't be, babe, you got to do this. He doesn't understand the weight that he's put on his family. And it seems like you understand it, but you don't want to put that weight on him because you know he can't handle it. Like you got to make moves.
Yeah.
No.
We've reached the point where it's like you're harming your kids, you're harming yourself because it's like he can, I don't know, continue stealing from the kid. He can get like he's already destabilized. Like just the fact that you stayed in a relationship with him and kept access to the bank accounts means that he screwed your children's future over that much more, right? It's already done. And guess what we know? He will not stop.
Nope.
He will not stop at all. Katara Rain says he should get nothing in a divorce. He already got hundreds of thousands. Also, in what world does she not get 100% custody? I mean, like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, look, the courts can fail us. We know this. But, like, I don't know. Like, if anything, I'm like, Liz B says she's put up absolutely no boundaries. Yeah, like, I haven't heard, like she changed the accounts, but, like, I don't know. Yeah,
just not adding up, dude.
Yeah. I think Ming Ming said, I don't want to victim blame mode. Ugh, like, yes, that's why I'm too, like, I don't want to bash, because OP is the victim here. Like, he did all of this to her, but, like, you just need to get out. I just don't know.
It's not hit her yet. She's in this denial phase. It
Yeah.
just needs to hit her.
Oh, man.
All right.
Well, let's close this out here. Is this a whole episode story right here? Oh, wow, we got more. Okay, there we go. So we had a big talk this last weekend about it all. And just like, what more high stakes does he need to step up, give me info, lead, and make a plan? He stepped up in other ways around the house. He's a great dad. Again, incorrect. But it's just like, I don't know. I've never been in a traumatic situation like this, really deep in my thoughts. Like, how do I get my feelings back for him? You don't. Getting a divorce or dating as a 37-year-old with 3 kids sounds horrible, and like I'll be alone for a while. Financially, being on my own as someone who has a new baby is always harder for the woman. I own my own biz and make good money, but I have insurance through my husband, have double income household, etc. I just feel so stuck and so sad about this all. I hate to say it, but I don't know if we made any progress in this entire ordeal.
Nah.
Nah, we were putting faith in a man that's proven not to be faithful or lead worthy. Or
Yeah, it's like okay, I've been waiting on him for him to do it. Should he do it? Should he have done it? Absolutely. Is he going to do it now? No. Like so
probably she didn't put a stop to it. Something in your life has to kind of change once you've noticed your partner is eating out more, smoking more, doing all these things more. You'd be
she
like,
had to
hey.
have noticed that he was spending and doing other things more than he was in the past.
He's ordering for like, he's getting takeout, but like, what is he ordering? Like lobster every night?
Yeah.
To rack that amount is insane.
And 2, she's like, oh, he probably doesn't want to like confront it. It sounds like she has to confront it, but she also doesn't want to confront it.
Yes.
I just don't think she's coming to terms to reality right now. I mean, I wouldn't either. I would like, this is not reality. This is fake. This can't be real. This amount, like in that span of time.
Yeah, maybe her brain is just broken and now she just thinks she lives in the Matrix or something, because it's like, this is just too insane. It's too crazy.
My ego says she needs good friends. Yeah. She
Yeah.
definitely does. Yeah. Yikes. But
Whew. That's it. That's all we got.
gosh.
That's literally it. But I have some potentially good news. Something to change the vibe a little bit,
What?
hopefully for the better. And that's this next story. I tried to enforce boundaries with my in-laws, and it turned into a legal issue.
1099. These guys are trying to set boundaries with me. Can we get someone over here right away?
Arrest him now. I'm going to have my first baby in a few months. Congrats. And mother-in-law has a history of being crappy towards me and all my hubby's previous relationships, and also his brother's past girlfriends. She gets jealous. I want to set clear boundaries before the baby comes with her. By the way, this comes from Big Branch 8521, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So first, a bit of background for our relationship. Before we were married, my mother-in-law would try to tell him to break up with me because she has gray hairs in her 20s, so clearly there's something wrong with her health and she's unfit to bear children. So the answer is no, it's genetic. My dad's side went gray early. Also, she has yellowing to her teeth. She's clearly unhealthy and unfit to bear children. Answer no. I had to take an iron supplement as a kid, but couldn't swallow pills, so it was liquid and discolored my teeth a bit. I don't think it's that bad and haven't really gone for whitening advice, but my dentist once mentioned it. She wouldn't suggest it in my personal case. My mom, who happens to be my best friend and I adore, has been battling cancer, and every time my mother-in-law sees me, she starts off the convo with telling me about someone she knows recently that passed away of.
Hey, shut up. Shut up. Hey.
She's always trying to push my buttons and get under my skin. She went to my workplace to see my colleague and introduced herself to her admin, who wasn't aware of our relationship, as my mother-in-law. My admin told her that everyone at work loves me and that I'm so awesome, etc., as they should. Instead of having a normal response like, we love her too, my mother-in-law went, we're actually here to see someone else.
Great.
Okay.
We love that for you.
All right. Which my admin told me about because that's so weird. When we were getting married and wanted just a small wedding, said no to mother-in-law inviting her second cousin multiple times, but she went ahead and printed out our Evite and handed it to said second cousin, who we barely know and who didn't even talk to us at the wedding and just ate the food.
Ah.
Anyways, hubby has had conversations with her, but she always thinks she's right and everyone else is wrong, so hubby has given up on trying to reason with her, but also still wants both his parents in his life because they come as a package deal, and his dad is decent except for the part where the mom is the boss of the family, except for the part where he lets the mom step all over you and doesn't defend you like a good human should.
The dad is decent, except for when he's not decent.
Which is all the time.
Yeah. Now fast forward to me being pregnant. She gropes my belly and talks to my belly rather than me as a person when she first sees me, while not letting me be a part of the conversation with adults.
Yeah, I'm literally slapping the hand away next time. No,
Ooh.
don't touch me.
That'd be great.
Do not touch me.
Last time was meeting with a new neighbor. The vibe is very, you're just an incubator for my baby.
Yep, 3D printer.
Yep. Despite her having been pregnant 4 times and her daughters each having been pregnant 3 times. So I'd like to set clear boundaries. That was the background. That was just the context, ladies and gentlemen. We are barely a third of the way through this story.
Oh.
So, my idea. I'm in a WhatsApp chat with my hubby's immediate family, so I'm thinking of just having witnesses to my boundaries and saying as follows. Hi, everyone. Our first baby is coming very shortly, but we just wanted to communicate some needs to you all. From what we've seen with friends, postpartum can be very challenging, and we would appreciate it if you respect some rules to make this work well. Please no surprise visits. I might need some time and space. Please respect that we will let you know when we're ready. Please take no photos without explicit consent. When I need to front airbag feed, please give me distance. I don't want an audience. No inappropriate comments towards or about any of us. Actions will have consequences.
Okay.
That way, there should be witnesses, right? What do you guys think of this? And we have some comments. But you know what? Let's take a pit stop right here. Sophia and Dakota, what do we do with mother-in-law? Starting with Sophia. What do you think?
I think that you have your partner talk to their mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your thing.
Yeah, how can a 3D printer win an argument with a human being? It can't.
I concur with both of these statements. Well, we've got some relevant comments here. So, comment number 1, first of all, these are not boundaries. They are rules you are making for other people, which is fine. It's your baby, but understand that this is what is happening. I find people receive rules like this much better if they are framed as what to do rather than what's not allowed, and the actions have consequences is vague and threatening. Just state what the actual boundary is. It's what you will do if the rules are broken. We will only be welcoming visitors when it is planned, at least a couple of days in advance. Surprise drop-ins will be ignored. Our consent must be given for taking or sharing any photos, whether directly or on social media. Violating that consent means a lengthy timeout from seeing the baby. I am private about my front airbag feeding and will take space as needed. Any lack of respect from this will end a visit. We need support and positivity in what will be an exhausting and exciting time. Unsolicited advice, criticism, or comparisons will end the visit. The way you ensure your rules are respected is to follow through calmly and consistently. Don't state a consequence you are not willing to enact because it falls apart. Then there is an update. Note, I deleted my post last night because mother-in-law and daughter-in-law were intimidating. The evidence gathered that it was illegal. And dear husband said to delete the post on Reddit while we figure out our rights / legalities in case they find the post and use it against us.
Guys, we're all going to jail.
We
Oh my God. We're all going to jail? Everything we've been doing has been illegal this whole time?
You're
not allowed to talk about other people?
We should call this illegal the podcast because it is illegal and a podcast.
Oh my God, don't go to Spotify. Don't go to iHeartRadio.
Don't do it.
Delete all of your phones.
Don't-
Throw them in the ocean. No, don't do that because this is insane. These people literally think it's illegal to talk bad about them.
Oh,
Dude, what are you
God.
talking about?
Honestly,
Oh my God.
honestly, I'm praying that in this story they call the police and they say, hey, you won't believe this. My daughter-in-law wrote a Reddit story about me. Arrest her right now and have her laughed out of the station. That is what I want to happen. Please give it to me.
Arrest
Please give
him
it to me.
right now.
Bro. So from my search since then, there is a bit of a gray area around camera use where I live, but it seems largely that I am in my right to have motion sensor security cameras in my home as long as there's no audio/conversations recorded, so and it's not in the bathroom, etc.
I don't think those. So there's a rule where if you're a place of business, your security cameras can't record audio indoors. That doesn't apply to your house, dude. This is your house. Do you live here? Like, what are we talking about?
Not allowed. It's illegal. It's all illegal. But I went through all of the comments with my husband last night, and he went over to his parents' house to list the behaviors with evidence and inform them of their boundaries and group rules. Good. Now an update on what happened last night. So I showed dear husband the comments on Reddit. A lot of really helpful ones. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Together, dear husband and I started writing a list of instances when her behavior and treatment of me had been awful in the past. Together, we wrote out a list of boundaries/rules in his notes app and tried to make them very clear with time frames for reassessment if appropriate. Dear husband then drove over to his parents' house to calmly and coldly make the statements to them/her. He began with the recent bad behavior incident, mother-in-law snooping through closet, wardrobes, footage of her coming out of the bathroom with dear husband's toothbrush in her mouth. At first, she lied and said that she did no such things. Then, dear husband mentioned that we saw her do it in the cameras. She absolutely exploded at him, yelling, dropping F-bombs, then tried to make excuses that she was looking for the sheets in her wardrobes and that she had actually brought her own toothbrush with her, and it was hers that she used.
Of course, she has matching toothbrushes with her son. What good mother doesn't?
Yep. Cameras aren't high resolution enough to capture a toothbrush in her pocket, and I obviously wouldn't put a camera in the bathroom, so I actually can't confirm or disprove whether it was, in fact, her own toothbrush in her pocket. She lied/denied to begin with in the first place, though. Anyways, that doesn't excuse anything else on the long list of maltreatment of me. Father-in-law kind of backed her up. What you're doing is illegal.
Like, in what universe is recording in your own home illegal? This is insane.
And then admitted that they recently went through this with their tenants. Mother-in-law and father-in-law have tenants at their house that they own. Generational wealth. Must be nice. Apparently, she was recently caught on tenants' cameras snooping through their personal belongings, closets, and fridges.
Why?
Why do you do this? Anyways, the whole thing took about 15 minutes. A dear husband was basically punted out of his parents' house without getting a chance to mention anything other than this recent incident, and was chased out by yelling and F-bombs. His parents said they're never coming over again or doing any favors for dear husband, which I guess is still a win.
It sounds like it. I haven't heard a single favor they've done for y'all this whole time.
Don't you know the favor of letting me ransack your closets and your toiletries?
The favor of accusing you of a crime and threatening to send you to jail?
That's my favorite favor. That's my favorite one, Dakota. I love it when you accuse me of illegal things I never did and then, to throw me in jail. It's my favorite.
Yes, police. A pregnant woman recorded me in her own home. Send her to jail. Thank you.
Do it. Please let them call the cops, I hope. But the other thing that I don't need to hope for, because I literally know it's an exact fact, is that you can go to Spotify, Apple, or iHeart and search OK Storytime and listen to all 2,500 of our episodes. In fact, if you're listening there right now, why are you not rating it 5 stars even? Or commenting?
That's true.
You want to say hi.
That's illegal.
Say that. Now, that is an actual 1,000% factually
They'll send you to
illegal.
jail for that.
They will send you to maximum security prison for not giving us 5 stars on Spotify. That is what is written into the law.
It's in the legal codex.
It's in the books, okay? Let's dive into the last part of the story here. So, mother-in-law texted me last night, is this how you treat family? Copy that message and send it right back to her. Look in the mirror and ask yourself that. Obviously, I'm not responding. Daughter-in-law texted dear husband this morning demanding that dear husband have all the evidence deleted. Dear husband said this was further proof she can't babysit ever. Another good stance. This is not the kind of behavior our child deserves to be exposed to. if we can help it. I'm waiting on a text back from a lawyer friend re the legality of the cameras. Edit, also, in addition, at this point where I'm at, I should be relieved that dear husband stood up for me and for us as a family and that he is on board with going low contact, but I'm bracing myself and scared with what mother-in-law might try to do next. Will she try to hurt me professionally at my work? Will she burn the place down? Someone so hateful and explosive, I don't know what she might do, and I'm still scared.
That's a kind of ominous way to leave it. But, honestly, sometimes, I mean, people are capable of crazy stuff, but she sounds like someone who's just mostly a yapper. And
Yep.
she's, she's a little, no, she does do that weird sly stuff. She's snooper. She's a snooper and a yapper. Ooh, which maybe that is the combo that can create like an arsonist.
Yeah, it's a scary thing because you don't know what's going to happen, but your husband actually stood up for you and your family. Bingo, huge.
That's huge.
2, once again, we've I mentioned this in the last story. When you start to fully express, like, hey, these things are not, just say the truth, like, oh, these things are not okay to people who are doing such terrible things to you. And then they're like, oh, well, oh my gosh, you're the worst. And oh my gosh, I'm going to go no contact. Da, 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 da. Well, great. That is, the cards are now falling as they are supposed to. Because someone who's doing terrible things is actually being told they're doing terrible things. And there you go. They will sort themselves in your life accordingly.
Yeah.
And you can go low contact, like you said, protect your peace, protect your baby, protect your husband and your little family. And that is it.
Yeah, and just cover your back. Cover your back.
My boyfriend wants me to quit my job, but he won't stop gambling.
You gotta make sacrifices. Come on.
What are we doing? I, 32 female and currently 6 months pregnant. My boyfriend, 29 male, and I just moved in with my mother to quickly save for a house together. Wow. For a bit of a backstory, my boyfriend and I have been dating off and on for about 2 years. We have been off and on due to him not really communicating with me, hardly texting, going days without calling. He just seemed to lack care and interest. By the way, this comes from Impossible Code 3888. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/Okie Storytime subreddit. I also have a lot of trauma from past relationships and childhood that does create issues with relationships in my life. Trauma including child and domestic, spicy related, and lots of infidelity. Although I am not one to lean on my trauma as a crutch, and I'm fully aware of the need for therapy and medication, he fully understood the struggles that I was going through mentally. We reconnected 6 months after not speaking for a few months after he lied to me. He had been lying about what he was doing, but finally admitted to traveling to gamble and staying all night and day without contacting me. My goodness. He literally lost so much that he was sleeping in his car in a Walmart parking lot with no way to get home. The truth only came out after I had a severe mental breakdown at work. I felt that someone that really loved me would never cause me so much distress and almost jeopardize my job. Once we reconnected, he had been communicating differently. He sat down and actually expressed his feelings. It was the only time I had ever seen him cry. He just seemed so different. He was communicating in a way that I had always needed. It felt like I could actually see that he really cared for me. Before, he never spoke about his emotions and never really talked to me. A few weeks after reconnecting and doing well, we were reckless. He had done the deed inside of me, which he had never done until that day. I'm not on birth control, so I felt I needed to get a plan B. However, what I thought was my period came the next day, so I didn't take it. I was not on my period. I knew I was pregnant 2 weeks after. I just felt it. A test didn't show positive for another few weeks, and that's when I finally told him. We decided it would be best for him to move in with me for financial reasons, as well as emotional reasons. Soon after, we realized that my tiny rental was not good for a family. It was way too small and way too expensive. So I gave him the idea to put all my stuff in storage and live with my mother so we could quickly save up for a down payment on a house. He thought that was a great idea to proceed within the next few months. At about 3 months pregnant, I discovered that he was looking up OnlyPans and other corn sites. This was devastating to me because we had discussed how I felt about it. The key there, super quick, when your partner communicates something to you, and then you say, you know what? Yes, let me not do that because that's something you don't want. And then you do the thing. Bad.
Bad.
And he had said that he didn't watch it. He lied. It has always made me feel cheated on. Then to be pregnant and starting to feel vulnerable about my body during pregnancy on top of all of it, I was devastated. I'm still devastated when I think about it. At about 4 months pregnant, he took a week off for his hobby of MMA.
Okay. You took a week off, like, of work
For
to
MMA.
fight? Can't do it, like, after work? It's not like you can do it for, like, 8 hours a day. Your body needs to rest.
I need 7 days, 24/7.
That's
fight.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Cuckoo.
I was working as a full-time semi-driver, still currently doing so during this time. I guess him taking a week off while I'm consistently nauseous and exhausted working 11-hour nights had me a little bit hurt. Knowing if something happens with the pregnancy, he just took his only week off, so how can he be there for me? He took the only week off that he could when she's about to pop out a baby.
Babe, I don't know what you want from me. I already spent a week. I have to spend a week fighting.
My hands are tied.
It's my hobby.
My hands are tied and I need to go to MMA to learn how to break out of it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going there,
But I can't break out of it because I was actually doing something else. Conspiracy theory.
Uh-oh.
Wasn't going to MMA for 8 hours a day.
We're predicting the
It's
future.
Insane stuff.
Oh no. Not only that, I found out that he had said he was going to his parents' house only to find out he had gone to a casino to gamble on one of his days off. At 5 months, he said that he had planned to propose to me soon. So when he insisted on taking a long overnight trip to a major zoo 4 hours away, I was extremely excited. I never wanted to be a single mother. That's why I'm 32 with no children. I've always desperately wanted a husband, a family. Everything about this trip screamed a proposal. It was my birthday weekend, and he insisted that we go that specific weekend instead of waiting for my family to go the following month. My boyfriend had also set it up so we would take his 4-year-old niece along with us. I was okay with that, although a bit stressful. She's a sweet girl, and I knew she would have a lot of fun. I got the flu pretty bad a few days before the trip to the zoo. That on top of working and my pregnancy, it was too much. Yeah, girl, that's
Jeez.
a lot. A lot. I know I shouldn't have still gone, but I just knew he was going to propose and I didn't want to ruin it. I also desperately wanted to be able to call him my fiance instead of my boyfriend. I'd been so embarrassed to refer to him as my boyfriend, and his coworkers referred to me as a baby mama. Not cool. I feel I've done so much in my life to be referred to something so slimy sounding. I work hard, more hours than a lot of people. I cook, I clean, there's always clean folded laundry, and I'm having his child. I just feel I deserve more. The day at the zoo had gone by without him proposing. I felt like passing away after chasing around a 4-year-old on a hot summer day, pregnant, still recovering from the flu.
Oh my gosh.
I still can't get over the zoo. Like,
This zoo is so funny.
why are we taking a 4-hour trip to go to zoo? This is a really crazy idea.
Lay it on me.
But what if we have to take a 4-hour trip? Maybe we go to something like a spa
Sure.
for a pregnant wife. We go to like a
Sure.
little resort,
Sounds great.
little beach where we can relax, read a book.
Sounds great.
But no, we have to go where it's hot, smelly, full of tourists.
Yeah. Monkeys are throwing poo.
Monkeys are throwing poo at us.
Yeah.
Why?
It's your proposal. You have to make it special. That other stuff isn't special.
This is first date energy, not I'm proposing to my pregnant girlfriend energy.
Yeah. When she's sick.
And
You
she's
can't, like,
sick.
Pick another day to go to I feel like it's really easy to reschedule a zoo day.
So my heart felt so shattered as the day went on without any sign of him proposing. When he finally asked me what was wrong, I told him. He acted as if he didn't know why I would think he would propose. I also discovered he not only didn't plan to propose, he didn't have a ring, nor did he have any money saved up for a ring. For months, he had been living with me, only paying for part of the rent, not even covering utilities or household essentials. Those expenses were all covered by me. He had also not bought anything for our child, while I've bought everything about $1,500 worth thus far. When I asked where all of his money has been going, he said it has all gone to catching up on debts to improve his credit score so we can get a better rate on our FHA loan for the house. He had no proof of these claims. So I immediately thought that he had been gambling and that everything was a lie. I've seen him play poker on his phone for money, so I don't think this was outlandish to think. The day after we got back from the zoo, I told him he needed to leave my home. He left and didn't contact me all night. The next day, my birthday, let's have your birthday present be this man is not in your life. Being a
Yeah.
single mom is better than being with this guy, is my
Yeah.
current take as of being this far in the story.
Oh my gosh.
And Kimberly Rockwood says, OMG, don't buy a home with him.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a
Don't
lot
do
of things that could get complicated with that. He said that he was at work, but that was clearly not reasonable. He finally admitted that he had been at the casino. He had spent 11 hours there. He
Oh.
lost $1,000.
Honestly, not a bad trip to the casino.
I will say that loss per hour rate is at least not as bad as it could be.
I was expecting it to be more, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when you think about how much money she spent on the baby stuff, that's $1,500.
So the part we're not hearing is that he actually won $100,000 and then lost it all and ended up with negative $1,000 at the end of his trip.
Yeah.
And N says he needs rehab for his addiction. Yes. He
Yeah.
needs help,
That-
support, just sort of like something, some sort of thing to help work through it versus just like, okay, I won't do it.
Yeah, it's
No,
like,
I'm
I don't
gonna
know, let's
do
just go to the freaking zoo
Yeah.
for funsies when you're sick and pregnant and it's
My
hot.
God.
The zoo.
My stipulations for him to come back into my home were to get therapy by the end of the week, buy the crib for our daughter, and he agreed to give me access to his bank account. He has done none of that. Currently, at 6 months, we have officially moved in with my mother. My doctor put me on a 2-week leave because with the stress of him, plus working 11 hours a night, moving, cleaning, cooking, taking care of my 2 dogs and the pregnancy, I felt like I was losing my mind and I broke down crying in her office. Oh, he is always telling me to just relax, but I can't. Because if I do, nothing will get done. All he does is either work, play on his phone, or lay in bed and sleep. I go do things no matter how exhausted I am, just in fear that he'll get bored and gamble or find someone else. On the 4th of July, I brought him to a get-together at a lake just to make sure he had a bit of fun. Again, her taking care of him and thinking of him and he's doing nothing. When we got back to my mother's, I immediately started cooking food for a little cookout that we had planned. The entire time I noticed him on his phone. It was so bad, he literally had a sparkler lit, staring at his phone in the same hand. I was so embarrassed that my mom was seeing how glued to the phone he was. It was a poker game he was playing, but he swore he put no money into it. That night, he was up in bed until 5 a.m., playing on his phone while I slept. The same thing happened the next day. This time, it was 6 a.m. I finally asked to see his phone. The entire time, he swore he had put no money into it. I found $350 in charges. There you go.
Oh, man.
At first, he acted like he didn't know what the charges were. Geez, what is this?
What?
Did you order burritos from this place called Casino's Burritos? Is that where you bought burritos from? Baby, you use my phone to buy from Casino?
What does casino mean in
What's
Spanish?
what's that? El Casino? El Casino? El Casino? No.
Bienvenidos el casino.
He finally admitted to it. I also saw a $1,000 charge from a jewelry store. I had known he went to get me a ring the day before, but I didn't know he bought it. I'm hurting that he spent more in 3 weeks on gambling than he did for my ring and your baby. I'm not sure if I'm in the wrong for that, but it hurts. You're not. It hurts that he has caused so much pain, that he has broken my trust over and over. It hurts that it's as if he doesn't take me or our family seriously. He wants me to quit my job, but how can I when he has still not purchased anything for our child? How can I stop working when he gambled away more money than he has ever put towards our family? He felt our baby kick for the first time, then in the same night gambled away $350 while she still has no crib. He has given my mother no money for allowing us to stay in her home. Not that she asked, but I feel the right thing to do is to give her something. Like the $350 he threw away. Great point. I told him that he needs to leave. He admits he's wrong, but in the same breath tries to say my mental issues are causing me not to see the good in him.
Oh, no.
He tries to say that my mental issues are causing me not to see the good that he has in his heart. He's like, yeah, I know I'm wrong, but you're not seeing the good in me because of your mental issues that you have, all of your mental issues. Your mental issues, like there's this condition called working a job.
Yeah.
There's this condition called caring about your baby.
Yeah.
There's a condition called trying to be a responsible and caring partner.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, OP's got a severe case of all three of them.
Yeah. What a shame.
What a shame.
What a shame.
It's a terminal diagnosis.
Yeah.
She's going to have those for the rest of her life because of how caring she is.
Oh
It's
my
tough.
gosh.
It's tough to see. OP says, I feel like I'm being gaslit. I guess I'm here because I'm so lost. I love him, but with everything, I just can't believe that he's ever loved me. I can't believe that he really wants to have a family with me, but what I can always believe is that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Just search OK Storytime and listen to your heart's content. We have 2,500 episodes, by the way. So go over there and check it out. Audio experience. It's fun.
Yes.
You can do it while you're doing the dishes. So that's nice. Any final thoughts here?
Oh, do I? Okay, so that last sentence was saying, like, I don't think he ever loved me, pretty
Yep.
much, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately, that can be true.
Yep.
Because in a relationship, love is more than just an emotion that you feel. It's an action, right? They might love you. They might have that emotion, but they're not acting like it. Someone who loves you would not be doing this stuff of gaslighting you and claiming that you have mental issues and saying that they're not a problem. You just can't see that they're a wonderful, amazing person. They're not showing you the love and acting like they love. It's a verb.
It's a verb.
It's a verb. And they don't love you. No.
Ain't that the truth? My God. Well, on that incredible note, we're going to close out this story.
Let's do it.
I know therapy is needed, but I'm so busy and exhausted that I can't imagine searching for a therapist and setting it up. I feel like I'm fighting for someone that doesn't want what I want. Should I let him go? Yes. I know if I left up to him, he will not fix this. Yes, we will never have a family. And that breaks my heart beyond any pain I felt. And Lord knows I've lived through too many painful things. But at this point, my baby and my health are at risk. I feel it in my heart. I feel my body getting weaker with all of these burdens and stress. I wanted a family with him more than anything, but I'm too weak to fight anymore. He's saying I'm destroying everything over $300. I feel like he's playing with my mind. Am I the a-hole for giving up and praying for him to fix things? Are my feelings accurate? Does he really not want this? Is it even worth fighting anymore? Angie, what is the one-word answer to that question?
No.
Nope.
Not worth it at all.
Not at all.
He's not going to change.
Nope.
Hopefully he gets help someday and he does change because that's possible, but you don't have to be there.
That's all there is to say about that.
I'm in love with my son's mother, but she wants to leave.
Just let her leave if she wants to.
So, I, 27 male, met Mila, 25 female, like 4 years ago at a bar. Long story short, it was a mutual friend's birthday, we were at this bar, and we had both just gotten out of long-term relationships. Hers was 5 years, mine was 4. A lot of drinking later, it was hella awkward, waking up unclothed on the birthday dude's couch with Mila. But honestly, that wasn't even the wildest thing that happened that night. The birthday guy, he did something way worse. By the way, this comes from user ThrowRA21121. Wow, that's a lot of numbers. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. Wow. Anyway, after all that, me and Mila were both super awkward about it. She legit looked like she wanted to crawl under a rock. Neither of us wanted anything serious since we both had just gotten out of serious relationships with our exes. But we still swapped numbers and went our separate ways.
Are we not getting what the worst thing was that the birthday boy did?
It was his birthday. No,
Why
that's
did
okay.
we mention it? I want to know.
That's okay. Fast forward like 3 months, Mila texted me up asking to grab coffee. I thought it was kind of weird, but I figured she might want to go on a date or something. When I got there, she looked like she'd been crying. As soon as I sat down, she just started bawling.
Oh, no.
Turns out she was pregnant. She hadn't realized because she was super stressed out and tired, but I was the only person she'd slept with. My whole life flipped upside down. I'm not going to say it. We did a DNA test and it was mine. Then she moved in with me because she was sharing a room with a roommate. The guest room became hers, and my office is now Andrea's room, but we'll call him Andy. Having a kid wasn't exactly in my plans, but since Andy came along, my life's been better. Honestly. Over the years, me and Mila never really had a romantic relationship, except for this one time she kissed me after Andy was born. We got along. I support them. I'm paying for Mila's grad school. She finishes the next year. We split the chores, and I'm always there for whatever she needs. So in November, Andy's going to turn 3.
Oh.
We've been planning his birthday. It's around Halloween. So he and his friends are all going to dress up. Aw. He wants to go as Bingo from Bluey. Aw.
No.
Aw, that's a cute costume.
Cute.
During one of our talks, Mila asked if I wanted her to move out. She said, now that Andy's 3, we could co-parent separately, and I could even get a girlfriend if I wanted to. I just went blank and said, no, and dipped to my room. No.
No.
Here's the thing. I love her. Having Andy is everything to me, but I'm also legit in love with her. She's smart, beautiful, caring, thoughtful, kind, dedicated. She's literally the most perfect person ever.
but I'm way too scared to tell her. My guy, you have been living with her and you have a kid.
It's okay to me. You can love her. You can tell her this.
This guy is so, like, Gen, what is this? What gen is this? He's afraid to talk about his feelings.
Millennial.
Yeah.
Could be
Y'all-
any generation from what I've seen. It's like there seems to be no age
I don't
limit to
know.
people being
Gen Zs are
completely
pretty-
incapable of expressing their emotions.
No.
Gen
this
Zs
is-
are pretty quick to be like, this is how it is.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to cope this in a weird way.
Anyway.
We have a kid together, and I'm terrified of ruining everything between us as parents and friends. I don't know if I should just tell her how I feel or just keep pretending everything's fine so I don't mess up what we have. What did the birthday boy do? I hope this doesn't violate any rules in the sub. I didn't comment on the original post, but I snooped in his comments to see what the heck the birthday boy did. I found out. Man, the real question should be, what didn't he do on his birthday? We hit up this bar, and everyone got totally wasted. Then there was an after party at his place. We walked there, and I was up front with Mila and some other friends. After that, all I know is from the stories because I spent the night with Mila. But apparently, he got home barefoot with some random dog he stole from someone's house. He decided to get back at his girlfriend for cheating on him, told everyone about it, and then hooked up with her sister while his girlfriend cried outside the room. He ran around the neighborhood in his boxers and ended up passing out on the lawn hugging the stolen dog. He still has the dog to this day. He stole a dog.
No, give the dog back.
We never found the owners. I think the dog didn't have any owners.
I thought the dog was the ex's. Wait, see,
He
that's why
stole
we
a random
needed the
person's dog.
I thought it was.
Just imagine that applied to any other situation. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. I looked around for whoever owned this thing and I just didn't find him, so I just kept it forever.
I mean, they could
I
check.
mean,
if the dog's
every
fit.
situation that's bad, a dog is bad. Oh.
The other bigger wrong thing was in front of his
Well,
ex.
he-
hooking
OP
up with
did not
his
disappoint.
sister.
I'm not gonna lie. OP
I-
did not disappoint
I
with
told
what.
you we needed that.
But we do have an update. Update. I finally talked to her about my feelings. Yeah, I was gonna say we
Yes!
should have just talked it out.
Yes!
Very simple solution here.
Tell her you love her.
Yes. So, I, 27 male, posted my story a few days ago, and yesterday I finally talked to Mila, 25 female. Quick recap: me and Mila had a baby together after a one night stand. Ever since we've been living together, and I'm in love with her. She's absolutely stunning, breathtaking even, but I've been too scared to tell her how I feel because I didn't want to mess up our co-parenting situation. So, I left work early, picked up Andy from the nursery, and dropped him off at my mom's. I bought some flowers. Oh my
Oh.
God. Cleaned up the house while she was in class, and texted her saying she didn't need to pick up Andy and just come home because we needed to talk. That's a scary thing to
is
say.
that how you said it?
Yeah.
That's how we went about that?
When she got home, she looked at me with her big eyes wide open, and the first thing she asked about was our kid. I hugged her for a while, but she went full mommy bear mode and kept asking about our baby boy. After I reassured her that he was with my mom and totally fine, she finally calmed down. I brought her to the living room, gave her the bouquet, and started talking. It was a long convo. I told her how I'd been scared of ruining things and how it hurt when she asked if I wanted her to leave. She admitted she was afraid she was messing up my life, that she feels like a burden sometimes and even blames herself for ruining my life with the pregnancy. I shut that crap down real quick. I never wanted kids, but honestly, since Andy and Mila came into my life, everything's been way better. It's been the best, most challenging mistake I've ever made. She also said she likes me too, and she's felt that way since she was pregnant, but wasn't sure if it was just the hormones. After the baby, she felt embarrassed to say anything because she didn't feel comfortable in her body anymore. She never got back to her pre-pregnancy body and thought I wouldn't find her attractive. But to me, she's the most beautiful and hot woman on this planet. She also admitted she'd get jealous when I went on dates, even though she knew it didn't make sense because we weren't a thing.
No, poop. That's why she was like, so you can see someone if you want to see someone. Feeling it out.
You're
I
cute.
love it.
You're so cute. Honestly, if she went on dates, I'd be passing away of jealousy too. We talked for a long time, even got into some deeper, more personal stuff. By the time we were done, it was late. We went to the small restaurant near our place for dinner. No wine, because I was driving, but it was amazing. We chatted about music, movies, and she went off about, what is that? ASOIAF. What is that? You want to look that up? That's
You newbie, it's a song of ice and fire.
All right, nerd. about Game of Thrones. For ages, while rambled about Lord of the Rings. How and I knew.
Glad you.
We talked about life and random stuff. At the end of the night, I got a few smooches in the car. Like we didn't even live together, which was kind of cute. Then we watched a horror movie. Awful movie, by the way. But she fell asleep cuddling me. It was a day full of wins.
Tell her you love her.
Update 2.
Tell her you love her.
We have an update 2. Carly's gushing over there.
I was so excited. Halfway through, I was like, wait, the title. She wants to leave. But then it wasn't like that. And we were good again.
Or so we thought.
No. I think it was just the no.
Update 2.
No.
I finally talked to her about my feelings. So I saw a TikTok video about my story, and it's kind of embarrassing having a piece of my life narrated by AI. Haha.
Well,
We're not
now
AI.
we're telling it.
Unless if you want us to be.
No.
I decided to give you all an update, but first, a quick note. Please use protection. I read some concerning comments about my situation. Yeah, I was pretty wasted and reckless, and things could have turned out way worse. Don't be like me. All right, here's what's been going on these past few months. We broke up, and she moved to another city. Just kidding!
Jeez, what the heck?
Haha. Oopsies. I'm telling you,
I was about to cry.
he's a millennial. He's he's a silly, goofy guy who doesn't
mean.
know. Yeah, he doesn't know how to deal with any of this stuff. He's just like, haha, that's funny, right? Andy's birthday was amazing. Everyone showed up in costumes, and the kids loved it. Andy dressed as Bingo, which is so freaking cute. I went as Bandit, and Mila went as Chili.
Yes! That's what I wanted. I really wanted that.
Andy was over the moon that we all dressed up. But what melted my heart was when we were getting ready in the bedroom, and my little guy said, I always wanted this. I think the way our dynamic was before. We didn't really have these sweet family moments, and it makes me so happy that my son gets to experience this now. So yeah, we're officially dating now, and it's been nothing short of amazing. She's happy, my little guy's happy, and nothing makes me happier than seeing them like this. Has it been perfect? Heck no. It's the start of a relationship with a lot of baggage. We're doing couples therapy, because we've been living together and acting as a family way longer than we've been an actual couple. The first month was kind of rough. I felt awkward about being intimate at home, and so did she. Mostly because of the family dynamic we had before. But I think we're building something really good. I don't have much else to update for now, but I'll definitely share if anything new happens. I told her about this count, so to the hottest woman alive, you've got my heart. Love you, Amelia, my Mila. She's gonna cry.
I'm so excited.
By the way, I'd cry if you weren't here listening to full episodes with stories just like this one. Please go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. We have stories just like this one. It's such a happy story. So please go to that.
Do it together.
Yeah, do it with your loved ones. Dress up as Bluey and Bingo and Bandit and listen to us. Send us a picture. Put it in the Discord. But there's a little bit left of the story. Carly's already over the moon. I don't think I need anything else from her. I'm just going to finish the story up.
What else do we even need? We're just good now.
Update number 3. A while ago, I posted here about how I was in love with my baby's mom, and I was strongly encouraged to talk to her, and I did. We've been together for 8 months now, and these 8 months have been the best of my life.
Yeah.
Everything is worth it as long as I'm with her. Every day during these 8 months, I go to bed knowing that everything I experience with her is worth living. Now for the biggest update. I proposed to her!
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was like, I felt that vibrate in the walls.
And she said yes, just like Carly did.
This is so exciting.
And unlike the first time, we're already planning to give our Andy a little brother or sister right after the wedding. Cue
Called
Carly.
it.
She's crying.
Called it.
She's got tears in her
I'm
eyes.
so excited.
Thank you, Reddit. I think this will be my last update. P.S. The dog Oswald is fine. Back to the friend. Get yourself a dog, too. Edit. Other platforms, I saw some really disturbing comments. Some people are really worried about the fact that I pay for stuff for my now fiance. Just want to say, I'm not struggling financially, and even if she didn't want to be with me, I'd still cover everything for her until she had a solid career and place of her own. My main concern is my son. If I can give him and his mom a better life, why wouldn't I? I think that as a dad, it's my job to make sure my kid has the same opportunities, and I'll keep doing that no matter if I'm with his mom or not.
I'm so happy.
Wow. W, like OPW, everything's a W. Wow, that was a... Call it a day, everyone.
My partner refused to split the hospital bill after I gave birth.
I didn't give birth to the baby, Susan.
$12,000 is the total we need to pay after having our daughter. My partner refuses to contribute because it's my bill, my problem. By the way, this comes from Crying for Winter, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, the hospital bill's the mother and not the father, even though it's our baby. My partner makes slightly more than me. He says he shouldn't need to contribute because he pays for everything else for our daughter. I feel that this isn't fair. Commenter 1 says, bruh, that's actually insane of him. What the F will he do if you get sick? Like, literally, you made a human together and suddenly it's not his problem? What the actual F? Opie says he thinks it's not his problem because legally it's not. He said I was billed, and he wasn't billed. He said the mother is the patient, and I was the patient, and the bill is under my name, so it's my bill. He also said, you don't pay for my medical bills. It's your hospital bill under your name. No one told you to take an epidural, which costs $2,000 of the bill. Commenter 2, wow! If he has parents, call him. Either way, I would be looking for a way out if I were you. That is incredibly effed up. Opie says, I don't think his parents would care about this. How did you not know about this? They honestly aren't going to want to get involved in our relationship like that. They would just tell us to figure it out as a couple. Opie should give her baby her family name instead of the father's name. Opie says, it's too late for that. My baby was born 5 months ago. My baby has the father's name. Can Opie file for child support and make it legally her partner's problem? Opie says, if I filed for child support, he still wouldn't be legally obligated to pay for my medical bill. I would have to use child support for my baby, which isn't a lot of money to begin with, so I can't just use it on my medical bills. Opie responds to a comment on if she is allowed to change her baby's last name. Opie says, I don't think I can. I Googled it. I would have to do so much work, like file position and get the consent of the father, which he won't allow me to do. Also attended court hearing, obtaining court hearing, and amend the birth certificate. And most likely it wouldn't get approved. That's a lot of work and stress. Anyways, changing the last name of the baby isn't my main concern. I don't care if my baby has his last name. Why is the cost so much? Oh, commenter. Doesn't OP have health insurance that would cover the hospital bill? OP says that's the cost after insurance. I had complications and honestly I expected it to cost more. OP explains her state laws on who pays the hospital bill. OP says even if we were married, it wouldn't change anything. In my state, it isn't required for your spouse to pay your medical bills. I was venting to my friend about this, and one of my friends is in law, and she said even if I was married, my spouse wouldn't be automatically liable for the medical debt of your partner. It depends on what state, and it's a slippery slope. Why is OP staying with her partner? OP says, I do love him. It is also financial security. It's impossible to live off one income, especially now with a baby. And there is an update. Yeah.
Read that back.
You don't
Financial
know.
security. He's not giving you any.
He's not giving you any. He's making you pay $12,000 for a baby that he is also his baby.
And if he's gonna-
$12,000 for a baby is also his baby.
If he's going to fundamentally approach parenting from that position of like, well, this is what I pay for all this stuff. It's like it's like you're talking about a dog. It's like it's not even a kid.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he's not fit to be a parent if that's how he's approaching it.
I just think it's also the fact that he said you didn't have to get an epidural. Like this man knows nothing about pregnancy, nothing about giving birth. I mean, just how freaking
Dude, if you put your
like uninformed,
put your ear up to this guy's ear,
unkind.
you hear the ocean.
Yeah.
That's how empty his brain is. His
Yep.
head. What brain? He has no brain. He has an empty head.
But there is an update. My partner was acting weird the other day when I grabbed his phone to call my phone to find it. I couldn't get his reaction out of my head when he freaked out when I grabbed his phone. I went through his phone. My partner cheated on me while I was pregnant. He claims he didn't cheat on me because it doesn't count because it was a white girl.
He had spicy sleep with her because it was a one-time opportunity that he always wanted to try. This is the stupidest thing anyone has ever said to me. He said it wasn't serious, and I know that he's not cuffing no white girl. How he's still here with me and our baby at the end of the day. A man may wander around, but he always comes home to his family at the end of the day. Wow, I don't know what to do. Leaving is the first thing that comes to mind, but I'm a new mother. I just had a baby. We're stuck in a lease together for another year. I can't afford to be on my own. I have to stay here regardless, and I'm just gonna make it awkward for breaking up with him just to still come home to him every day. There are some comments. Comment 1, this is where the 50-50 culture gets women. Now men don't want to pay the hospital bills for their birth of their legacies. What is happening with men right now? And still he will expect the baby to have his last name. Women are getting scammed in these relationships. This is why so many women don't want to get married and have children anymore. Women are doing everything alone. Women need to put everything on paper and make these guys understand that 50-50 in a marriage is not right.
Why are you hanging on that? That has nothing to do with this. This guy is completely unfit to be a parent or a partner.
What? I don't.
And
what is
this has
comment
nothing to
talking
do
about?
with 50-50, you absolute... you mouth breather.
You're giving more than your share because you can literally pass away giving birth. I agree with that comment. Your body and your mind will change forever. Women will keep getting played by patriarchy if we don't stop romanticizing men. If the most dangerous and reckless thing we can do, make them sign prenups, agreements, and clauses. Otherwise, you will be exploited by men. What? He says, period. 50-50 only benefits the man. They want us to work full-time, pay half the bills, and be maid and nanny while all they do is also work. Make it make sense. Commenter 2 says, his excuses are lame and you know it. That one makes more sense.
Okay, that's now we're on the this is relevant train.
Yeah. Commenter 2 says his excuses are lame and you know it. Start making an exit plan, even if it does take you some time to get it organized. He will cheat again, but will think it's fine because it wasn't serious, and he comes back to you at the end of the day. Wishing you strength. And there is an update.
Do not, under any circumstances, stay with this guy. For the love of God.
The thing is that he's not even going to provide you financial security. He's going to be nickeling and diming you the whole relationship. Even more so now that you know that he's cheating. There's just no point in staying in this relationship. I think that you would get, honestly, more financial security if you broke up, broke up and asked for child support. I think you would get more. And you would have to see him less. So that's a win.
And also, there was a comment that's like, if you do leave and you're financially like in a very hard spot, guess what? You qualify for Medicare. You and your baby.
Yeah.
So you will get all of your medical bills paid for.
Update 2. I can't get out of my lease. I've tried. I'm stuck in this lease with him for another year. We're going to be cohabiting and co-parenting. I feel so alone. We go to bed together and I feel like we're still together, but we're not. You guys need to sleep in separate rooms. Our relationship is over. I don't think I can ever get past the cheating. He says his affair doesn't count because it was a one-time opportunity with a white girl. But is it crazy that I would have been less hurt and possibly forgave him if he slept with a black girl instead? I don't know. Maybe it's my own insecurity showing. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Sign his phone number up for every annoying spammy service you can find. OP says, LOL, this would actually irritate him. OP says, OP explains her ex's thoughts on the meaning of cheating. OP says, so his stance on this is one-sided. He thinks men can cheat, no strings attached, because he says men can have spicy sleep with women without emotions, and he can continue with his day and forget it happened, but women can't do the same thing, and it'll stick to her. He says when a man cheats, he just needs a time and a place, but when a woman cheats, she needs a reason. Baby juice DNA is a real thing, too. Like he said, every guy that
completes a deed.
In a woman, their baby has those guys' DNA.
Wait, what? Is this guy trying to say that if somebody has had
spicy sleep
has
with
done
other
the
men
coitus with multiple people, that the
That
baby has
is-
multiple sets of genetics?
Yeah. We already know this. Oh, there it goes. We already know this man is an idiot. We already know.
Are we sure this guy's not from Jupiter? Because he's the dumbest person I've ever seen in my life.
Like he said, every guy that completes a deed in a woman, their baby has those guys' DNA or those men's behavior or physical features. Every guy she's ever slept with. So he says it's best to have a baby with a virgin. I wasn't a virgin when I met him, but I have a low spicy sleep count, and he says that's good enough since most women are promiscuous. I hate this man, and this is probably the best he's gonna get body count wise.
Like I
hate
almost
him.
feel bad for this guy because of how dumb he is. It's like that you would feel bad for like I can't even come up with an example, but it's like imagine how actually maybe it's really I think maybe there's a level of dumb that you can be where life is hard, and then you loop all the way back around, and you're so dumb you can't even conceptualize that things are difficult. So life is like just a breeze for you, no matter what, because you're just that dumb.
So basically, he thinks if a woman cheats, she's a gardening tool. But when a man cheats, he's a king because he's not a loser. If women find him attractive, that means he's doing something right. He said when men have a bunch of women around him, every man and woman included thinks he's cool. But when there's a bunch of men around one woman, everyone's like, ew, gardening tool. It's a double standard for sure. The crazy part is I'm kind of buying his BS.
Why? How are you? Do you have no self-awareness, OP?
The thing is that I think that this man has been like this the whole time. But I literally can't, everything he says is insane, but I literally can't refute any of this except the stupid baby juice DNA stuff. That was just illiterate AF, and he clearly skipped out on biology classes. He claims the DNA stuff came from studies and research.
One of our commenters said, I think it was Deirdre Statham, said, yeah, I sure hope he gets, if the baby juice thing is right, I sure hope the baby gets its intelligence from another guy.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Does OP have family or friends she can go for support? OP says, I really don't. And folks, that's the end of that story.
My husband said something awful about me, and I snapped. You hear that? Oh, that's snapping. I, 28 female, my husband, Leo, is 26 male, and our best friends, also a couple, are Tom and Jay, 28 female. Leo and I have been together for 8 years, married for about 3. By the way, this comes from Character P9451, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, we met Tom and Jay after we all moved to a new city. I met Tom at a jiu-jitsu studio. We bonded over a shared language, and after a few sessions, planned a group hangout to meet each other's partners. We all clicked. Since then, we hang out most weekends, take trips, and share hobbies. Leo even joined the gym where Tom and I met. Leo and I have been trying to conceive for the past year, but it's been slow. We started with testing on his end. Turns out that he's a slightly low baby juice count. Still possible, naturally, just harder. I told Jay, the lady of the couple, during a one-on-one because I didn't have anyone else to confide in. I told Leo afterwards and he flipped. He accused me of emasculating him to our friends and gossiping. I was shook. We argued mainly about why he'd think that I had hurt him on purpose like that, and why he thought it was okay to blow up on me the way he did. That kind of outburst had never happened before. He eventually calmed down. We talked it out, and I thought we'd moved on. I apologized and agreed to not share with anyone else. A few months later, we're at a backyard barbecue at Tom and Jay's. I had stopped going to the gym, worried sparring might interfere with conceiving, maybe paranoid, but still. Tom showed me some sparring clips and a move I hadn't tried. He offered to demo it with me. I'm newish, so I like learning new moves from someone who's more experienced. It was low impact, just a way to escape a pin, and we had done similar stuff before. We were in the garage in full view of the party. Jay and a few others were there watching. I pinned Tom, which involved straddling him, normal in the sport, and that was it. No grinding, no weirdness. But Leo wasn't around at the time. A few minutes later, Leo finds me, says we're leaving, and stews the whole ride home. When we get back, he goes off, accusing me of dry humping Tom to spite him, disrespecting him, and acting like a spicy dancer. Then he says, I've heard about women like you who hook up with their man's best friend when they find out their guy has fertility issues. I was stunned. Then he said, I just knew you were the type of girl who'd end up a baby mama. I effing lost it. For context, I'm half black, half Korean. Tom is half white, half Korean. Leo and Jay are white. Leo calling me a baby mama felt discriminatory and disgusting.
Ooh, yeah, it kind of does when you add that to context.
Yeah.
She's like, I always knew you would be a baby mama. It's like,
Yeah.
why are you saying that about
Right.
me?
Well,
Like
they're
that.
actively trying to have a kid, though, too.
I think that would be a walk away moment for me.
Yeah. It's like, well, good thing we couldn't have a child when we wanted to because I don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
It broke my heart. He's never said anything like that to me before. I was screaming at him, told him he was a discriminatory effing idiot if he thought demoing a move would get me pregnant or whatever dumb crap he thought, and that I didn't want a kid with someone who thinks like that. Boom! That's exactly what you need to say.
Yeah.
I packed a bag and went to my parents' house 2 hours away. When I told them, my mom was livid. My dad, who's Korean and immigrated, thought maybe I was overreacting. He doesn't always read microaggressions the same way, though. Now I'm sitting here wondering, am I the a-hole for calling Leo discriminatory and saying that I don't want a family with him? Am I missing something on his end? I've been at my parents for 2 days and still can't think straight. Things were not like this before we started trying, and there is an update.
You're not the a-hole for how you reacted to that. I mean, is it like set certain that it's like that's what he meant by that? Like,
Yeah.
no, but it's like too closely aligned to be like, all right, well, either way, the way you said that, that's what that meant. So you need to apologize,
Yeah.
deeply apologize for that if this is going to work.
Right. And even if it wasn't a microaggression, like, it's still a crappy thing to say to this woman right now. Like, what? She did.
Yeah, and the accusation makes me be like, so are you? You're cheating on me then, right?
Right.
If you see me
Gotta be.
doing actual jujitsu
Yeah.
as like I'm gonna cheat on you,
Right. When he does jujitsu too.
I think maybe so. Oh, OP said that all this started happening when they started trying for the baby.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants a baby.
Really?
Probably, but he can't be like, I don't want a baby. But he's so all of that bottled
Interesting.
up stress energy he has inside is like, ping, 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 ping,
Yeah,
ping, just like
interesting.
shooting out of him like lightning.
We do have an update. So, after I posted, I reached out to my husband, Leo, and checked in with him. I asked if he would be willing to have a phone call to discuss what went down. He let me know that he'd prefer an in-person chat. I agreed and asked him to meet me halfway between where my parents live and where we do. I also suggested that he bring a friend or family member along, since I'd like to bring my mother along. Not to be part of the conversation, but just people to step in for emotional support if necessary. He agreed. I created an outline on the topics I wanted to focus on in the combo. I referenced some comments made on my previous post. The topics were, after our disagreement over me speaking to Jay about his medical condition, what could I have done outside what we discussed that night to make him feel more comfortable and supported? That night, I apologized and we agreed that I wouldn't share any information about our family planning, that I would ask Jay not to share the information, and that I would defer to Leo to decide who, when, and how we discuss our journey to anyone besides us going forward. What are his boundaries between our male friends and me? When and why did his boundaries change, and what can I do to assuage his fears? Why did he decide to use the language that he did with me? Specifically, the baby mama comment. I know a lot of people in my previous post kept going back and forth about the validity of that statement as racially charged or motivated. It caused me to really step back and collect my thoughts on the subject. I recognize that for the majority of Reddit, my lived experience as a woman of color isn't something that can be easily related to. Whether it's due to lack of exposure to POCs or an unwillingness or resistance to hear that your own behaviors can be harmful to others, even unintentionally. I have experienced both racism and sexism throughout my life. Often, it was not something so easy to clock as a slur, but using language that belittled, demeaned, and othered me while making reference to my features or my cultures. As much as it was argued against, referring to a black woman as a baby mama is a negative or discriminatory stereotype that has been connected to blackness and black motherhood for decades. Just because the phrase is commonly used in the 2020s doesn't mean that it didn't have serious implications a few years before. I know what it means, especially given the context.
Well, I mean, even if you take that component out, like you said, he's still implying like, I always knew you'd just be a single mom.
Yeah.
It's like still like just a mean-hearted thing to say to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So then this is just like an added layer of that.
Yeah,
of
it's just even if that's
insult.
not there, it's still bad and needs to be like,
Yeah.
hey, how did we get here?
Yeah, it's like not even worth like dissecting,
Yeah.
honestly. I also know that my husband is aware that he used charged language. He has both defended and supported me when others have used it against me in the past, as well as experienced it firsthand because of our relationship. It is part of the reason that we moved to our new city. He didn't want our future children to grow up in a place that lacked social and ethnic diversity. As a result of our move, our social circle is much more diverse now. Leo and I met this morning. He brought his cousin and I brought my mom. He and I sat alone and began hashing things out. His first question for me was my perspective of the barbecue incident. A couple people pointed out in my post that he may have heard a different series of events, and turns out that was the case. He had been told by another male guest that I went up to Tom and begged him to show me a move. Then when we all went to the garage studio, I got on top of Tom and sat on his crotch, and Tom grabbed my waist. That we didn't make any attempt to do a hold break, and that it seemed like an opportunity to act inappropriately with Tom with plausible deniability. Leo said that it didn't occur to him that this person may not have been telling the truth, and the night I left, he ended up calling our other friend, M, another Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, to complain about Tom and my relationship. M was also a part of the group I was in when Tom asked if I wanted a demo. What should we call M? What name should it have?
Murph.
Murph, sure. Go ahead. Murph let him know that it was definitely a legit demo and that after I had finished, others tried out the move as well, both men and women. After that, Leo ended up calling Jay and asking her if she felt that there was something off between Tom and me at the barbecue. When Jay corroborated Murph's story, ensuring that I wasn't sitting on Tom's crotch, more like hover squatting over his stomach, Leo believed Murph. He acknowledged that most of what he said during our fight was baseless and honestly meant to hurt me the worst way that he could. Yeah, we freaking figure that out. We could tell you that ourselves.
Yeah, I think maybe he meant yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know that. He acknowledged that he did choose to say baby mama instead of single mother or something because he knew the former would hurt me worse. He said that at the time he felt justified. He never justified to just straight up insult someone, my guy.
So who is this guy who told you this that you immediately were like, oh, that is like straight from the mouth of God. Like, there is
Marv.
no doubting this whatsoever. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't think to maybe have a cool, calm,
Yeah.
collected approach to that.
Right, because just like you saw the situation wrong, I know you heard it, but you saw the situation wrong, someone else could see it wrong too. He thought I exhibited trashy, ratchet behavior by hooking up with a friend in front of our social group. Tom makes him feel insecure because he is more extroverted like me. We share a common second language and have a lot of similar life experience since both of our dads are Korean. I said that what he said to me was unacceptable and difficult to forgive. That I've been willing to reduce Tom and my one-on-one reactions if he had let me know that these things were bothering him. Leo had also been feeling a lot of pressure around us lately since I was making so many changes to my lifestyle in order to improve our conception changes. I will add some clarity to Leo's fertility issues. He has a slightly below average baby juice count. A lot of the things that seemed to be causing a lower count for him were lifestyle based. There are actionable steps to improve his count, namely diet, exercise, and habit changes like wearing looser, more breathable fabric. Leo saw that I had started exercising, reducing high impact sports, and cooking more nutritious meals. It made him feel bad because he didn't want to make the changes that our doctors suggested. He felt like I was rubbing it in his face that I could change and he didn't want to. This made him feel guilty and angry. I asked why he didn't feel comfortable telling me this. What had changed in our relationship to make him feel as though he couldn't speak to me? Dude, Opie is coming with the best communication skills ever.
Truly. These
She-
are
he's gonna
goated.
match her freak with communication.
Goated.
He said that he was having doubts if he even wanted to have kids anymore. He had always expected to just be able to get me pregnant, but with our delays, it made him think about the realities of having children. How much of his life would have to change? He also realized how differently his kids' experience of the world could be from his own, and it scared him. He didn't want to tell me because he didn't want to have the conversation. He was scared I would leave, or if I stayed, I'd resent him. Instead, he internalized it, which made him resent me. By the way, I want you to internalize this fact I'm going to blow your mind with right now. Internalize it. Sit with me. Close your eyes.
Microplastics are in my balls.
That's exactly what I said.
Way to go, Keon.
Keon just did an amazing impression of me.
First step is acknowledging.
The real message I'm sending to you is that there are more full episodes, stories just like this one, on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Storytime. Please.
Thanks, Mom.
What'd you say?
Yeah, shout out to your
decided
mom.
to join in on the fun.
Perfect
She said
moment.
that I have plastic balls. Who knew?
Who knew? Do we have thoughts about this story, Dakota? No more thoughts about plastic balls.
No.
Please.
My thought would be like, this was a great example of like how not just like pushing the boop, like nuclear bomb, like blow
Yeah.
everything up button
True.
is usually like you want to at least have like a real convo. If you can't
Yeah.
get there, then you can like blow it up, but don't just, it's not often that you need to just immediately
Right.
hit the button.
We're going to read the rest of this story. So, we came to the conclusion that we are in serious need of both individual and couples counseling. to navigate things going forward. The language Leo used towards me has greatly affected my trust in him and brought up a lot of old identity issues I have. Leo wants to work through expressing his emotions and working through his insecurity and distrust of me. I am back in my parents' now and planning to head back home after spending the 4th with my family. I'm not sure where things go from here, but I am vaguely optimistic that we can both become better, healthier people. And that is the end of that story. My neighbor left her kids on my porch for me to babysit without any notice. For context, I, 17 female, live with my dad and his mother. My grandma adores kids and they love her too. Whenever we go to family gatherings, they all swarm her. I am the opposite. I don't like being around kids and avoid them at all times if possible, as they worsen my anxiety. By the way, this comes from your mother's secret lover, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, it's been made clear to my family that I am not a babysitter unless it is a genuine emergency, and I am the last resort. Call me selfish for that if you want, but being around little kids causes anxiety attacks due to some past situations with my mother that I won't dive into. Despite that, my grandma told my neighbors, not sure if their ages, I'll call them Stacy and John, that if there was ever an emergency or their preferred sitter canceled, she would watch their 2 daughters. I believe around 6 female and 9 female. This luckily doesn't happen very often, and I've never argued about this because it's my grandma's house and I can simply stay in my room until the kids leave. This past Friday, John had a stroke and Stacy dropped everything to rush him to the hospital. But at the time, I didn't know this, seeing as Stacy dropped the 2 girls off on our porch and didn't wait for anyone to answer the door before rushing off. The only issue is that my dad was in another state to celebrate the 4th, and my grandma was multiple cities over and wouldn't be home until later that night. I couldn't call her as her location tracking app said that her phone passed away, and when I tried calling the family she was with, they didn't pick up. I don't know what to do with little kids, seeing as I don't babysit and haven't been around a child willingly in years, so I did my best with what I had. I made them chicken nuggets and fries, turned on Disney, and sat on the couch watching them, waiting until someone else got home. The girls didn't complain, but I was very uncomfortable the entire time. Seeing my neighbor's car wasn't in the driveway, and knowing about their prior agreement with my grandma, I would have felt guilty turning them away, so I decided to just suck it up despite the anxiety. When my grandma came home, she told me that she had charged her phone in the car on the way and Stacy had called her, letting her know about John's stroke and why she gave my grandma no notice about leaving them. To which my grandma replied she hadn't been home all night. I explained everything to my grandma, and she apologized for putting me in that position, but I told her it wasn't her fault and just asked that she tell the neighbors to make sure she or my dad is home in the future to avoid this happening again. I also said this situation was an exception, as it was an emergency, but I did feel a certain kind of way about her leaving her kids on the porch unattended. All the lights were off and my parents' cars were gone. No indication that anyone was home. She said she understood, and I thought the situation was done and over with. That was until my neighbor came knocking on my front door while my parents were both working. She did not yell at me, but very passive-aggressively stated that she was sorry her kids made me so uncomfortable and said that I shouldn't have fed the kids chicken without consulting her first as they were trying to go vegetarian. 9 female had watched some kind of documentary and didn't want anyone in the house eating meat. Probably just was like, I don't want to hurt animals. And then was like, we all have to stop. I apologized, but stated how exactly she would expect me to know that, seeing as I don't regularly interact with her or John, and that the kids didn't mention it to me. 9 female didn't eat the chicken, but didn't say anything to indicate that she was uncomfortable with her or her sister eating it. I will admit my tone was rude. I tend to get snappy and irritated during confrontations. She said she was surprised my grandma didn't tell me and said that next time she'd make sure to give me a heads up when her husband had a stroke and I'd have to suffer with her children. I understand how hard it is when a loved one has a stroke. My dad had one last year, so I don't expect her to be completely rational right now. I understand the frustration. When my grandma got home from work, she showed me messages from Stacy saying that she and John had been appalled by my behavior and that I shouldn't be left around kids, just like I've been preaching for years, and suggested to my grandma I get some kind of lessons. Not sure if she meant a parenting class or something else on how to responsibly watch children should this happen again. My grandma politely declined the lessons, but said that she would talk to me. After showing me the text, she said she understood my anxiety, but that I shouldn't have been so rude, and it wasn't a big deal to watch the girls for a few hours. My dad sided with my neighbors and said that I should probably learn a bit because I can't avoid being around kids forever. I didn't think I did anything wrong, and had Stacy stayed around to see if my grandma was there, this could have been avoided. And furthermore, I didn't complain much about watching them, just that it made me anxious like all kids do. I do feel guilty for snapping on a woman whose husband just had a stroke, but I feel like she shouldn't be allowed to accuse me of being irresponsible because she didn't like how I handled her kids with zero notice. and little experience with children. Am I wrong for not responsibly watching kids I never agreed to watch? And there are some comments.
No, you're like, you did like the best thing you could do is come on in, let's watch some TV.
Right.
I have at least the fact that you offered them food
Right.
and you're
Yeah.
like, this is that's all you need to do. Give them food, water, let them do their
Right.
thing, and like, okay, you guys good? Good, great.
Comment number 1 says, not the a-hole, but she is. Tell her the next time you'll call the police for child abandonment since she dropped them off on a porch. Comment number 2 says, not the a-hole. I understand she had a legit and scary emergency, but she left her kids on a porch with no evidence of anyone being home. And you put your own comfort aside and made sure her children were safe and fed, I might add, which is the only thing that matters in situations like that. She should have apologized and thanked you and paid you like one does with teenage babysitters. OP says, I kind of understand why she didn't pay me since she was going off the assumption that my grandma would be there, who watches them for free. I'm really mostly upset about the vegetarian thing because I'm not sure how I was meant to ask if they could eat meat when she left them without a word or any instructions. Someone responds, once she found out that you got stuck babysitting, she should have paid you or got you a gift card or done something nice for you. You are not your grandmother. Regardless of your attitude, you kept her kids safe. It goes back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs when there's an emergency. Food, shelter, safety, all of which you provided. I don't eat any animal products and I'm on your side here with the chicken nuggets. You had no way of knowing. Nuggets and french fries are standard kid fare and you're a teenager and that would be something that you would cook and those children are old enough to tell you if they don't eat something. You are still not the a-hole, but she is. Comment number 3 says you did nothing wrong. I would have gone off on old Stacy. As far as I read, you answered more politely than many people would have. If you are female, please don't feel that you should have some natural tendency to be able to care for children. You get anxious around them, fine. Don't be near them. I get anxious with heights. Nothing wrong with me. There is an update. It is an update.
I mean, those comments were really pretty much what we said.
We all agree here. So, on to the update. I ended up waiting for my parents to calm down from work and decided to bring it up again. And they were a lot more receptive. I explained my side again and said that I would no longer babysit for Stacy under any circumstances. And next time this happened, I would be calling CPS for abandonment. My dad apologized for insisting that I take a parenting course, but reiterated the situation was an emergency and I should give Stacy more grace. And my grandma said that she would talk to Stacy. And by the way, I hope that you always talk to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime and there's going to be full episodes of stories just like this one. You can comment on them. You could do whatever. We might not be able to talk back like immediately, but like you can pretend. You can give your little spiel when we're giving ours. Pause it, give your spiel, play. I mean, that's fun. I do that sometimes. Unsurprisingly, Stacy didn't react well. She again said that she was disgusted by how I treat people in a time of need and criticized my grandma for raising me to be so selfish. My grandma said that if she had an issue with how she raised her grandchildren, Stacy shouldn't want my grandma around her own kids either, and that she was taking back the babysitting offer. Stacy didn't send a text reply and came back to our porch and began banging on the door, demanding to talk to me. My dad opened the door. We have a glass screen which was closed and locked, and said that if she didn't leave, he would call the police and report her for pesterment and child neglect. That was enough to get her to leave. After spitting on the glass screen, gross, but okay. A few hours have passed since then, and nobody has heard from or seen Stacy. So I think this was finally done and over with. And there are some quick comments.
She's one of those. She's a spitter.
A spitter, yeah.
Dang.
Actually, the comment.
I'd probably
yeah,
get her
no
some
one-
rotisserie chicken. And put it
Yeah,
on her
drop
front
off
door.
some chicken on her door. Well, but
I mean, it's
Stacey
not the
seemed
kids'
more
fault. Yeah, we
bothered.
can take it on the kids, but
Yeah.
that's
But- oh my
crazy.
Gosh.
That's crazy.
My family is turning me into a free babysitter just because I'm the youngest.
Free labor.
Keep getting stuck watching my little cousins, ages baby to age 8, at every single family thing. Because my tias are like, hey, Jamie, you're such a responsible young man. Translation, we want to drink wine and gossip without ankle biters writing the vibe. By the way, this comes from user JamCam, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, yesterday, I finally snapped. I told him, nah, I didn't sign up for this. And now the group chat's blowing up, calling me selfish and disrespectful. Even my brother John, 23, who dipped to college and never looks back, hit me with the, bruh, they're wildin', but you could have been smoother. So, am I the a-hole? Like, is it really my job to play built-in daycare just because I'm the only guy under 25 who hasn't knocked someone up yet?
Dang.
Wow.
All right.
I think it's a very normal thing for someone to look after the kids at family events.
Yeah. I think, definitely shouldn't have said it that way. If
Yeah.
you like really didn't want to take care of them, maybe just try to find another solution. You can't just be like, nope, don't want to.
Yeah, you can't be like, what do I look like? Free day? It's like, yeah, it's exactly what you look like. You're
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like
nephew. Like
family
that's
kind of stuff.
You're quite literally free daycare.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. How
it's just-
old is he? Did we get his age?
we don't have an age, but clearly young. It's just about
Yeah.
being respectful. Of course, people are gonna be like making drama about this because of the way you acted about it. But let's get into some comments here. Comment 1 says, to be honest, I genuinely appreciate that they have this expectation of you as a dude. I had to deal with that expectation while my brother dodged it completely. My family never considered that there's another whole adult they could ask to babysit while guilt-tripping me for not being at their beck and call. Also, not the a-hole. It will never end until you put an end to it. OP says, between schoolwork and all that, I'm exhausted. I mean, yeah, I could babysit sometimes, but every day? Come on. I'm not in after-school program. I didn't realize it's every day?
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. I was assuming it was like on family get-togethers.
Yeah, the way if it's every day, you need to be getting paid for being a babysitter.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to get home, eat something, and maybe play something without a crying toddler next to me. Even my mom has been telling her sisters to calm down.
Oh, okay.
Comment 2 says, so your aunts come over to your house every day with the kids. I thought you only see them at family dinners a couple times a month. So they want you to babysit every day plus at the family dinners? Heck no. You need to put a stop to that now. Maybe hang out with your friends if you can. I would be out of the house as much as possible. Just keep saying no. Yeah, they'll be pissed, but eventually they'll get over it. Or not, but that's not your problem. OP says, they take advantage of family dinners, I suppose, to exert social pressure, but they come every day to drop off their children as soon as I say yes. Comment 3 says, not the a-hole. You should not be the designated babysitter because the moms want to drink and gossip. If you don't go, who else would get stuck with them? OP says, the worst thing is that if I say something, they attack my mom, but she didn't even ask them for help when she was raising me. Not that she needed much help either, because dad was also taking care of me. Commenter 4 says, why can't the dad show up and watch their kids? OP says, there are 3. 2 of them have husbands who work long hours, and they also work. One of them is single and works, and I usually never refuse with my single aunt because her son is 5 years old and is well educated. Besides, it's difficult for her to survive with just one job. But the others can afford babysitters. They simply take advantage of the fact that I do this favor for my aunt to use me. Comment 5. Not the a-hole. From language use, we can assume you're Hispanic or Latino. I'm 24 and my husband, 24, is also Hispanic and the oldest of all of the kids. I have never seen him be put in charge of the cousins, even before we were married. They just don't want to deal, but their kids are not your problem. OP said, thank God someone noticed. Mom is from the Dominican Republic and raised us speaking Spanish. People always say I have a strange vocabulary, and indeed, they're not my children. They're not my responsibility. Besides, I'm 15.
Yeah, man. It's a lot. Yeah. I mean, if the mom has even been like, hey guys, chill out a little bit, then that's good that you've got someone on your side.
Yeah, but just start saying you're unavailable then. It sounds like every
Yeah.
time it sounds like you're always saying yes. So
Yeah.
just start saying no.
Yeah, it's just like
Hard to do at 15.
I can watch one kid for free. Once it becomes more than that, it's at least, I don't know, $10 per hour.
You got
Per
one
kid.
You got one free day a week.
Yep.
You get one free day.
Yep. Gotta
Every
do
other
something else.
day,
Exactly.
I need my pay.
There you go.
And we have an update.
Let's do it.
Next day. Little family background here. Actually, this isn't that dramatic. I've had other anecdotes that were more dramatic than this. My aunts, whose children I babysit, are 3 of my mother's sisters. I only refuse to stop helping one of them, my Aunt Florita, a made-up name. Florita is 33 years old and has a 5-year-old baby. She's actually very kind to me and understands my situation. She's single because the father of her child never wanted to take responsibility once she told him she was pregnant. So, she works in 2 restaurants, lives with my grandparents, and takes care of her son alone. Plus, her kiddo is very calm and intelligent. I don't have a problem with him. The problem is my other aunts who are more stable. My Aunt Petunia's husband works in a government office, and my Aunt Margarita's husband is a lawyer, and a pretty good one. They also work in an office and can afford to pay a nanny or pay me. I don't remember if I mentioned this before, but they're from the Dominican Republic. They came to the United States when Mom was my age. Mom is Aunt Florida's twin. I know their lives have been difficult and that families need to support each other, but I have a life too. I don't go out much, but I help Dad with his store, and I also help out around the house. I study, and for those who asked, I do have a girlfriend, but we're both focused on our studies. Later, we'll formalize our careers, but not before we graduate. I'll be updating everything via Pass. Mom has already spoken with her sisters. My grandfather supports her, and since he is the absolute voice of the family, actually all the older adults are, he will speak with his daughters. And we have some more comments here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it can't be up to OP at this point.
Yeah.
When you're 15,
Yeah.
it's like you need to have the other adults in the situation tell the other adults, hey, stop
Right.
exploiting my son for free labor.
Right. I mean, because he tried to like put his foot down, and then he got a lot of backlash from the family. So yeah, I agree. It's just you gotta have some help with the authorities in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah, we need the authorities on site immediately.
Yeah.
Let's get into some comments.
Let's do it.
Commenter 1 says, not the a-hole. Crazy how your well-off aunts expect free childcare while Aunt Florida, who's actually struggling, respects your time. You're 15 with your own life, not their on-call babysitter, period. Commenter 2 says, too many use family as an excuse to manipulate, impose silence, and control. Nobody must be the guardian or servant of others to the detriment of themselves. And there's another update.
Oh boy.
To be fair, to the detriment of themselves, I think we're going a little far. I think if we're being honest, learning how to, because he's like, I like the one that's smart enough to like not misbehave. Maybe flexing and strengthening your annoyance tolerance muscles could be good at 15.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Every day is extra though, and every day is too much.
Yeah, there's definitely like limits, because then you still need to be like a teenager and have your own social life. But yeah, I mean, like doing it at all is like, okay, it's kind of just a family thing, and like this kind of just, it's like doing yard work in a way, you know. You just gotta do it, and you'll understand when you're older.
Yeah, I think you should expect to still do some, but if you're really doing it every day, that's too much.
Yeah.
There's a second up. Hello again. It's been 10 days since I posted this, and well, what had to happen happened. Welcome to the amazing family drama circus. First, thank you to everyone who commented. It helped me a lot to read about similar experiences and realize I wasn't being selfish. Sometimes you feel bad about saying no, especially with family, but I learned that setting boundaries isn't being a bad person. These events happened in 3 or 4 days. More things happened, but I'll only cover the most relevant. Day 1, my mom spoke with my aunts. She was firm but calm and told them I wouldn't babysit anymore without them respectfully asking me, and that it wasn't my responsibility just because I was young and, quote, good with kids. Which I doubt, because OP says that he hates like 2 of the children.
Right. Maybe he hates them, but he's nice to them, begrudgingly.
Yeah. Aunt Florida understood, but Maggie was more stubborn, left without saying anything, and didn't speak to Mom for the rest of the day. Day 2, Aunt Margarita was offended. And when I say offended, I mean she sent about 5 audio messages in the family group chat saying that the family is losing its values and that today's young people don't know how to help and that they want everything easy and without commitment. She also said something like, when I was his age, I already knew how to change diapers, which was weird because, as I remember, she waited until she was older to have children. Do you know what I mean? So no one answered her much, but she left the group for about 2 days and then came back without saying anything. A classic. At this point, leaving without saying anything is her personal trademark. Day 3, my grandfather intervened. My mom didn't ask him to, but he had already seen the group and decided to say something. Basically, he reminded everyone that helping is nice, but forcing is not. And if they really valued their support, they should learn to ask for it properly or pay someone. And that calmed the waters quite a bit. And by the way, I am just swimming in waters full of episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime and you can listen to our whole archive.
That's right.
But there is a little bit more story left. Grandpa's intervention. What a classic move.
I think it's great. Again, bringing the authorities into it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Calling in the cavalry.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, this was a grandpa's got to set it straight type of moment.
Right.
Let's finish this story. My Aunt Florida was sunshine. She wrote me separately to tell me that she understood completely and she never wanted me to feel used. That she really appreciates it when I help her, and that if someday I can't anymore, say so without fear. She has never been the problem. My brother John also wrote me and said, Aunt Margarita is crazy. You did good. I didn't expect it because at first he had told me he could be smoother, but I guess he saw it more clearly now, or maybe it was because his girlfriend scolded him. But what about me? I'm calm. I went to the last meeting. No one gave me kids to babysit, and I was even offered to sit with the adults. I ate in peace. I played with my little cousins for a while because I wanted to, not because they forced me to. And it felt good. Some more comments to finish it off. What an uplifting update. It's great to be helpful to others. It is not great when others take advantage of your good nature. Glad you'll have more time for yourself and studying and have learned something about setting boundaries. Grandfather and Aunt Florida sound great. Comment number 2, here's my favorite part. Quote, they want everything easy and without commitment. I'm glad that commenter brought that up because I wanted to say,
Yeah.
that's exactly what the ants want.
Yeah.
Full-blown projection.
Right.
Like
right.
the kids these days just want everything given to them. It's like you literally just leave. You drop the kids off and
Right.
you leave.
Like, the adults these days, they just want no responsibility.
Yeah, adults these days have no idea how to communicate properly.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
So isn't that exactly what old Auntie's doing? She wants you to make her life easier by babysitting her commitments, i.e. the kids she chose to have. That crap is about as good as calling someone selfish when they won't babysit or give money as expected. Good on you, kid, and I'd honestly advise that you not babysit again for at least a couple years. And that is the end of that story.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta call Grandpa.
Just call in the Gramps.
Sometimes when you're 15, you didn't even have to call Grandpa. Grandpa saw the group chat and said, all right.
right. He's like, too many messages. I gotta quiet this down a bit.
Do we need to learn how to ask for things again?
Yeah. Even when my kids have kids, I still gotta be a parent to them. My best friend sabotaged my relationship while we were living under the same roof.
That's gonna make it weird around breakfast time.
And this comes directly from the r/OK Storytime subreddit. This is one of our own.
Oh.
I grew up in foster care and was privy to restarting my life consistently. I had gotten out of a relationship which left me alone and lost. He cut me off from most of my friends, but due to moving schools all the time in high school, I didn't have many to begin with. My soon best friend, we will call Jackie, 32 female, and her husband Keller, 42 male, 21 female, had met her a few years back when I was 19 or 20. We had met when I was selling the devil's lettuce and other related concentrates, pretty much worked in a gray market dispensary before legalization, with her little sister Kelly, 25 female. By the way, this comes from BusyChance8549, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit, because Jackie started hanging out around early 2017, mostly stopping by to borrow products, which she always paid back. We didn't talk much unless she needed something or asked me to visit the shop. I was closer to her sister Kelly and often spent weekends with her and her son. At the time, I worked 2 jobs. My main one was a Monday through Friday supervisor role at a fast food place, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., Jackie had been a supervisor elsewhere too, and by 2019 we grew closer. She'd drop by once a week, and we'd talk all about her husband and 2 kids, an older girl and a younger boy about 8 years apart. From what she shared, their relationship seemed decent, but they struggled financially since her husband kept losing jobs. 3 that year alone. Meanwhile, my life felt stuck in a rut, and Kelly had gotten into a relationship and pulled away. I was happy for her, but I felt lonely. Then I got an offer to travel across the country for work with just 7 days to decide. Keller wasn't working, and Jackie's family relied on government assistance. I asked my boss, John, if I could go. He hesitated since good staff were hard to find. I mentioned Jackie was looking for a job, and though they barely knew each other, he agreed, figuring she could fill my spot so I could travel. Looking back, maybe that was my mistake, but at the time, I felt free. I traveled for 2 months, then took another 3-month trip to Africa. I drained my savings, but didn't care. I was only 20 and had finally left my hometown, a place so bleak its slogan is, "Welcome to blank. When you were born here, what's your excuse?" My mom always told me I'd never leave, so getting out felt like finally escaping that trap. When I got back, I needed a job. I still had some money, but my wallet took a few hits. Second mistake was going back to the place that I had just sent her, but I didn't know that. She had worked there for about 6 months or so at this point, but wasn't yet a supervisor. I talked to my old boss, John, and he was glad to have me back, waiting to give me my 7 to 3 shift. But Jackie, who has kids, wasn't keen on moving to evenings or nights, which I understood. Because of a clash with the evening supervisor, I was asked to cover overnights instead. I started as a regular staff since I had been gone for so long, but John knew my worth and didn't lowball my pay. Things were going okay at first. I got along with most of the staff, though many didn't like Jackie, calling her a witch. Even though our shifts overlapped, she'd often show up late, upset, or high. We could say that. She would storm out for smoke breaks during busy times, snap at coworkers, and complain about not getting promoted. But since she was never like that with me, I brushed it off. The night shift was tough. I was the only woman and the crew was standoffish. My main extra task as overnight supervisor was handling inventory and deliveries, which John said was all I needed to move up. But the crew refused to speak English unless talking to customers, which made it hard. I warned them and finally brought it up to John. After that, they resented me even more. About 3 months in, I started having scary health episodes at work. Zoning out, confused, unresponsive. I warned my coworkers in case it happened again so I could get help. And then it did happen. While taking an order, I froze. The overnight supervisor grabbed me, shook me, and clapped in my face, yelling, "Wake the heck up!" I yelled back and almost broke down crying. It was 3 a.m., and though I wanted to leave, the other coworker, who had a visa hour limits, refused to stay. I felt trapped and scared. Later, the supervisor claimed that he thought I was sleeping, but I reminded him that I had warned him about my health issue. I stayed until morning, texting Jackie to please come early so I could leave, planning to ask John to approve her extra hours. And to my surprise, she answered. She was up late arguing with her husband and came in just after 5:30 so I could go deal with issues. I know I should have just gone to the hospital after the incident. Later, the doctor said that it looked like I had a mini stroke and warned me to avoid stress. But work was nothing but stress.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my God, this is insane, man.
You really can't work anywhere that isn't stressful, right? Is there a job that isn't stressful?
No,
Well, I was about to say like a pound where you get to hang out with dogs all the time.
but there's definitely stressful days, I'm sure. I'd go in every day worried about the new complaints or extra tasks. Jackie told my boss why she came in early, and he texted to ask if I was okay. I told him I wasn't. He asked me to come to a meeting the next day at 7 a.m. and take the night off. At the meeting, I said I couldn't keep working with that crew anymore. After 8 months of stress, even though I got my supervisor title back, I asked for more time off to deal with my health. Jackie objected, saying that I was leaving her again, but John agreed. I went to Europe for 2 months to stay with friends. When I got back, John told me he'd fired most of the overnight crew. Only one guy stayed on part-time, and he'd moved Jackie to overnights. She hated this. According to her, it was some kind of punishment to separate her from interacting with a few staff members she'd caused issues with. Then John introduced me to my new underling, we'll call Leon, 23 male. Now, this man should not be working fast food. He looked like a construction worker, strong and built and really funny. He worked evenings and overnights and lived close by. It wasn't long until him and me would be flirting and bringing me little gifts on the nights that he knew I'd be working. I'm not sure why, but Jackie didn't seem too fond of my friendship with him, but she did like him. She seemed frustrated that he would stop by work, bringing me treats, and sit outside of my breaks, but honestly, I loved how attentive he was to me. A few months later, Leon and I were dating, and 8 months after that, I had gotten pregnant. During the time we were dating, I tried warming up Jackie to the idea of me being in a relationship, but she wasn't sure he was the one for me. Whatever. But eventually, she relaxed on that. I'd bring him over to her place, and we'd all hang out with her kids, and he would hang out with Keller, her husband of almost 10 years at this point. Leon and him would play video games, and we'd talk makeup and work drama and hang out with her kids. Leon seemed reluctant to go over to their place and even sometimes expressed concern in me going over there alone, as I would babysit for them on occasion as well. When we talked more about this, it's because of the area she lived in and that they were not the cleanest of people, which in all fairness was the worst part of the city. While babysitting, I've heard gunshots. While babysitting, I've heard pew-pew shots, and there were unhoused people who tent by the garbage cans just below her window who were often loud. I honestly felt really bad for her and her children, 8 female and 3 male. Leon and I had discussed moving in once I got pregnant, and I agreed. As we were looking at places, Jackie kept telling me how nice it would be if she could move into some of the apartments we were looking at, but her and her husband had a really tough fixed income, and their youngest was displaying signs of extreme ASD. And as it was the start of the vid, she didn't know what supports would come in and when. She kept telling me how lucky I was that we were always in a nice area and how our kids had to grow up poor and in fear. Now, I grew up poor. My mom had kids, and we all went off to foster care pretty early on. But being the second oldest and being about the same age as her daughter in that hard time, it broke my heart. I asked Leon if we could maybe look into a house, and that way all of us could look for a better place and move our friends to a better area. He was reluctant, but I was determined that he'd change his mind, and eventually he did. We found a perfect 4-bedroom house where we were going to evenly split rent between the adults in the house. I was on maternity leave, and Leo had left work for a more suiting job, albeit he didn't get one till after the baby was born. Things were starting to look up for everyone, or so I thought. Jackie and Keller would fight almost every day. They both quit their jobs and were under huge amounts of stress, doors slamming and yelling consistently. Why did they quit their jobs? What was that for?
Because OP's going to take care of them. OP and Leon's going to take care of them. You know that, right? That's why they moved out.
But they're all going to...
Yeah, whenever we moved in together, I'm going to quit this. You're going to take care of me.
But why? I cannot do that. I
You
cannot.
can.
I cannot afford.
I got a lot of video games to catch up on.
Oh, yeah?
You can't? Oh, oh yeah. No, you'll be
Quitting
fine.
the job.
Eddie will come over here.
He'll be here.
He'll be here. Don't you worry. Imagine. How do people's brains work like that? I don't understand.
It's wild, man. It's wild. Why?
That was a triple chin.
The only time she wasn't mad was when she was smoking devil's lettuce, which even though we had requested that be done outside or at least in the basement, as I was having a baby in about 5 months at this point. That's when Leon bought his new TV and decided that the basement was going to be a man cave, which I had no problem with, and I thought it was kind of cute. Jackie got ecstatic about this for some reason and started moving some of her furniture into the basement and even bought a futon for the space. Okay, maybe she wanted to hang out there too. I figured that would at least keep her from smoking on the second floor where her kids slept. Leon grew kind of distant after we moved in and would spend all his time on his PS4 or watching movies in the basement, and this is kind of when things got weird. When I was 7 months pregnant, Leon got on a war movie stint, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but would still watch them if he wanted. I was having problems sitting downstairs with them because the futon was often taken up by Jackie, Keller, and Leon. I would sit on a folding chair nearby or some other chair that would make my back hurt. She's pregnant. This is a pregnant woman, and they're going to sit here taking up this futon, letting this pregnant woman sit on a folding chair. That's crazy talk.
Well, they bought the futon. She can buy her own.
Frick that, man. She bought the house. Yeah.
That is true. They did get a house.
Exactly. My goodness. I had expressed that I kind of wanted to sit with them or, have people move elsewhere because I was pregnant. Jackie had said something along the lines of, the futon is just as low as you should... Wait. The futon is just as low, you should just go lie in bed. Over the next month, she and Leon were adamant that I went upstairs and rested. I had caught them a few times where she had asked Leon for a foot massage, and he obliged.
Dude, I knew this was going to happen. She likes Leon. Jackie likes Leon, and she doesn't know what to do. And then that's why she was mad at OP. And then ever since Leon went to the basement...
Crazy! Because of the title, I was thinking like, oh, it was like, OP's husband is safe, and OP's husband is like, or boyfriend at the time is like, not gonna be interested in Jackie, and Jackie's gonna be like trying to make these moves and stuff.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it looks like, Alexia says worst pregnancy of my life. I am so sorry. That sounds absolutely awful. This is what boom.
A
Boom,
full
boom, boom.
massage?
Fireball.
Ew.
Yeah. My goodness, that is what all of these people deserve. Holy crap. I thought this was weird, and he maybe should have asked me first, but she was always complaining about pain, and I figured maybe since her and Keller were fighting, he refused or something. But the thing is, Leon never rubbed my feet. I'm not the one who likes my feet touched, but honestly was a little hurt that he never offered me one. She often complained about sciatica pain and other pains she had from giving birth and such, so I figured he maybe sympathized with her being so open about her pain. Then, into my birth, baby boy came on time, no complications in May 2021. Being in the hospital almost felt like a vacation from chaos at home. That sucks. Nothing could prepare me for what would happen when we got home. The house was a mess. I guess at this point, the realization that I did far more chores in the house struck me. I felt disgusted and immediately brought the baby to the only safe place in the house. My room is on the second floor, but since Leo was no longer in the basement, she was back to smoking the devil's lettuce in her bedroom. I felt like a captive in my own home. All I could hear was arguing and screaming, and the house stunk. I wasn't doing chores, and Leo was doing everything he could to spend all his time doting on me when he wasn't playing Call of Duty in the basement. This struck a nerve with Jackie, as she admitted that this was the reason that she divorced her husband. Oh, whoa. They divorced.
But I
What?
think he still lives there, right?
Unless this was like an ex-husband?
Well, we've got Alexia in the chat.
Yeah,
which is
Alexia,
great.
let us know, because
Yeah.
she did mention that there's still fighting in the house, like yelling and fighting going on. So, I would love for that insight. Her husband and 2 kids.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I guess he's still in there, or she
so
may
this
be
is probably
divorcing.
like an ex-husband though.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. She was jealous of all the care that I was getting that she didn't get in her relationship. Through all this, I was still super supportive of her in her divorce and wanted to help her in whatever way I could. A few months passed and her ex moved out of our basement and into an apartment close by so he could still see the kids. And the youngest eventually moved in with him as he was too much for Jackie to handle. Things at this point were a little rocky all around. Leon saw an opening with the spare room and got a bed put in there and started sleeping apart from me. When he was home, he and Jackie would be in his room while he gamed, and she did her hobby, crocheting, sitting behind him. This went on for a while. When I confronted her about it, she said that I just like sitting near him. His voice is just so calming. He's playing Call of Duty. He's like, guys, get down, guys, no, let's go this way, go.
He's coming on my left. He's coming on my left.
Yeah, and he's.
We're about to come in and out. We got to get in and out real quick. In and out. Breaching. Oh my God, he just flashed me, guys. He's flashed me. That's what you say, right? That's what you say when you play video games, right,
Never-
Dakota?
What games are you playing?
I'm playing Call of Duty.
I found this reply annoying, as how could my boyfriend yelling partially racial slurs at a video game? But whatever. Tried to let it go, but she spent months sitting behind him while he gamed, crocheting him a king-size blanket with one of his favorite streamers. Dr. Disrespect.
Oh my gosh, not Dr. Disrespect. Is he clear from that, Dakota?
I don't think so, buddy.
Okay, so Dr.
The
Disrespect.
two-time. I'm so mad I can't say the 2-time anymore.
He like got caught.
Some sort
He
of
got caught with
messaging-
some pediddling allegations.
Yeah,
and
messaging
some grooming.
minors.
First of all, he had already cheated on his
course.
wife before, and then they moved through that and got over it, and then it got exposed that he was like in communications with an underage individual. Apparently nothing came of it, but still,
Oh
it
my
in and of
gosh.
itself is horrific.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So the fact that that's his favorite streamer.
That is so wild.
He was a cool guy whenever I saw him, and then that came out. I was like, oh no, you never
He's a
know.
cool
Yeah.
guy. It's even worse when you realize he's like built and 6'10" and could realistically kind of just like if he wanted. I'm not saying you should cheat on your wife. I'm saying if he wanted to cheat on his wife, he could cheat on his wife with basically anyone. And he's like
And he
talking
chose
to a minor.
minors.
It's insane.
I don't know this guy. I've never heard of that, and I knew that that's where it was going.
Yeah.
That's just like that's just what's in the air apparently.
Yikes.
I swear she did this just to piss me off because she knew how cringy I found him and the fact that my boyfriend watched content like that unironically. When my baby was 8 months old, everything came crashing down. My boyfriend was growing distant for months, and the only advice Jackie had was to stop nagging him so much. And I should be lucky to have such a good man. I saw this as maybe resentment for me being in a relationship and her being alone, but since we moved in, I was sure that she could see that Leon and I were not thriving here. She started to be cold, and I just retreated to doing what I did best at the time, losing myself and my identity to being a mother. I was initially excited, but all this stress had taken a lot of joy out of my life. I started talking to some old friends I lost touch with during the relationship. We started talking on FaceTime once in a while, but not overly. But because a lot of them were male, my boyfriend got jealous and said that I was looking for the wrong kind of attention. That's when I started seeing some weird posts on her Snapchat story. It was kind of broken up, and later on I realized it was because she tried blocking me from seeing her story that day. Just that day is scary. It started off with her saying, I will never see how a man can get upset with his girlfriend talking to other guys when he can give me a sensual massage and never tell her. Oh my God!
Sensual massage? Is that what feet massage are?
No, like
Right?
sensual is like schmexy and like romantic and
Kind of like
yeah,
What?
yeah.
like
No
So
way.
it's not in- so it could be- So obviously, since he did tell her about the
Ew.
foot massage, this is something that he didn't tell her about.
That's why they're always in the basement, always crocheting blankets so they can
Or
do
in
things
her
under the
room.
blankets.
Or she's in his room. That's why he's sleeping in another room. That's why he put a bed in another room and is sleeping there.
Dog.
Alexia, just know that everyone on this stream and in the chat right now has so much anger for you.
wait.
Like, not against you, but like on your behalf.
Yeah, on your behalf. Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Uh,
it's not doing the thing.
You
are
just
you
gotta.
trying to do?
I'm
It's
trying
okay.
to rocket frog.
It's okay.
That's just
Rocket
just
Frog,
know
this
that.
guy. Yeah. There was more, but that was the gist of it from what I saw before it all disappeared. I was shocked and upset and called Leon and asked if he could see it, and he did. I was straight up and asking what she was talking about, and he said he wasn't sure and had no idea what that could be about, but agreed that she was talking about us. I don't believe him. As she was still in the house, I decided that I wasn't letting my anxiety get the best of me and I would confront her. Good. But with what I had, which was still the half-deleted text. She got upset with me and said that it was taken out of context, but it took hours and Leon came home from the whole story. And Leon came home before the whole story came out. While I was pregnant and her and my boyfriend spent a lot of time alone, she started to get feelings for him. She didn't know how to feel, but she said that she knew it was wrong because she still had a husband. She mentioned how he was always thoughtful and offering her foot massages and gave her good advice when her and her ex fought, how he would watch movies and sit on the couch for hours. Like, I'm sure that meant to be like, watch movies with me and like sit on the couch with me for hours, but just seeing that, just watching the movies and on the couch for hours and being like, oh, he's so
gosh.
dreamy. It's crazy.
Why? This guy had such a good start. What happened?
He was on a great roll at first.
Oh, gross.
But then one night things went too far. She was complaining about her sciatica pain, something she often did, and Leon had offered a massage. She said she felt awkward at first, but then she got really into it. It started becoming sensual. After that night, she distanced herself, apparently feeling guilty about things, and when I had my son, that's when she lost it. She said she saw how much I was needy and hormonal and figured the relationship between me and my boyfriend wouldn't last. She then left her husband feeling like she had a chance with Leon. The next months, she fed me poor advice on dealing with him, hoping the relationship would end naturally. All the while, in that time, she had slept with 4 different guys that she had coming over to the house and was also ditching me and Leon to watch her kids while she hooked back up with the ex-husband. Girl!
Dude.
Girl! Everyone put fire in the chat because fireballs is what this woman deserves.
She deserves to go to hell. That's what Angie
all
said, basically
conjuring
saying.
fireballs going.
Oh my
That is
gosh.
crazy. I was in shock. All of the trust issues I had, she knew and exploited. If she was really my friend and my boyfriend made a move on her while I was pregnant, why wait 10 months to say anything? If she was my friend, that's something she would have admitted right away. Leon says that the message was never what she made it to be, and that I also agreed to let him give her a massage while she was complaining. He's his own bouquet of red flags. It's no surprise that relationship didn't last. But after that, I asked her to move out and that I needed space from the friendship to think things through. I didn't cut her off completely because at that time, me and her daughter, who was almost 10, were getting pretty close, and she always liked me and was sad that I, quote, made them move out. But I eventually just stopped messaging her back. By the way, I hope you never stop listening to full episodes with more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. You can't ever stop because we always have so much more for you.
Alexia, question. Why were you still her friend?
Well,
What?
Well, it just said, but it sounds like they stopped being friends eventually.
The second I heard about the sensual massages, rabbity dap dap, can't be
Done.
my friend anymore.
Done.
You're leaving the house.
Yeah, it does sound like she was on the same page as that though.
Yeah.
She was like,
Well,
"Yo,
she
I'm
probably
confronting her
is.
right now, talking to her right now, not wasting any
Yeah.
time." Good for you, man. Not just sitting in your anxiety and
Yeah, that's
and
good. You're
anger.
you're making moves out, and then I
Dang,
really
man.
feel like this friend guilted you. My husband, I was jealous of my husband because of you. I live in a really bad spot, and then basically kind of shamed OP
Yeah.
this whole time,
Yeah.
so she could, help her out.
Yeah, and that line of being like, "Oh, when you got back to the hospital, I saw how needy you were and how much like attention you took from him or whatever." When she literally just had a whole baby. It's like, I'm sorry, I just made a whole human. I made a whole human what she needs to be. She had eventually reached out with a crappy apology saying, "I'm sorry for anything I did to hurt you in the past year." When I saw she had sent Leon the exact text, I decided to not really accept, but ask her what she was sorry for exactly. She never answered, and later that month, I saw Keller out with the kids and asked them how they've been. The oldest told me that their mom doesn't want to speak with me because of how I sleep around. Keep in mind, she told this to a maybe 11-year-old while she herself is now in an open relationship with my sister's ex-boyfriend. That's a whole nother story in itself. She's telling this 11-year-old that
Imagine
this
telling
woman
Ryder this.
sleeps around. No. I can't. That's too young. Too small.
I wonder if he would understand.
He'd probably be like, "Is she tired?"
Yeah, right? Like, what? Is she just lazy? Or like,
She's always like,
needs
she's
an
sleeping
alarm
right now.
clock?
You
Like,
could eat spinach.
is that why she doesn't go outside?
that's crazy, man. That's
Dude,
crazy.
Why does she have so much hate for you?
Oh my gosh. That is
Alexia,
so
where do
wild.
you live? What area do you live? And where can we find these people?
Yeah. I dated with 2 people in 2 years after me and my ex broke up. Not sure if she knew that, but it definitely didn't constitute as sleeping around. I'm happy with my new boyfriend now and far away from any of her drama. I have a second son who is now 1 year old, and my oldest is a dream kid. He's 4 and so smart. Leon co-parents as well. He's adamant that him and Jackie never did anything, which I kind of believe. She is way older than him and not his type. But, and he still talks to her on occasion, which I hate. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. But whatever, I'm happy, and they will get their karma. That is absolutely
Okay,
right,
good.
man.
I was wondering if you were still with this man or not with
Oh,
the way
no,
you were
no.
talking about him.
She's gone. Out of there as soon as she could. Good job, Alexia. Oh my gosh.
I suddenly had a family. It all happened so fast.
And now they're burying you.
And folks, this is from the r/OK Storytime subreddit, directly from one of you guys. I, a 31-year-old male, married my wife, a 31-year-old female, 2 months ago. But how it happened was not exactly planned because she had a cryptic pregnancy.
What is that?
I'll tell you in a minute. By the way, this comes from Whole Call 7910. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, real quick, from my knowledge, a cryptic pregnancy is when you don't know you're pregnant, and then you either find out like right before or when you're giving birth.
Oh,
Which is a scary thought that you cannot know that you're pregnant.
that's one of the most horrifying things I've ever heard in my life.
My wife did not know she was pregnant until less than 2 weeks before he was born. That's insane. It wasn't until 2 days before he was born that we found out that she was 38 weeks pregnant. Oh my God.
Is that, how many weeks are you supposed to be?
Around 38.
How?
That's crazy.
What? How?
So my fiance at the time and I had been together 8 years and planned to get married 1 year in the future. We are both dedicated professionals and live together. We've talked about having children and decided that it wasn't a good time for us, that we might try one day, but nowhere in the near future. One day I was driving to work, my thoughts drifting aimlessly, and I received a phone call from my wife. I was expecting the usual conversation. Instead, she was nervous and informed me of those 2 life-altering words. I'm pregnant. I was shocked. We use protection. We're very careful. She's also on birth control, and we've never had a close call in the past. We kind of thought having a child would be difficult for her. Apparently, incredibly easy. Little did I know I would be at a labor and delivery room in less than 2 weeks. My wife got an appointment with her doctor. They performed a blood test and found that she was 4 to 8 weeks pregnant. That sounds like it was wrong. When I came home, we found time for an honest discussion about our unplanned journey into parenthood. We acknowledged that the timing wasn't ideal given our recent home purchases and impending nuptials. Yet we realized that with love and determination, we could adapt and make it work. At least we had time to adjust to this unexpected twist in our lives. Little did we know what was about to unfold. 1 week later, on Wednesday, I took a half day off work to join my wife for her first ultrasound appointment. We were expecting to find out the due date. We found out that she was in her 3rd trimester and 38 weeks pregnant with a due date of 10 days in the future.
Surprise!
You guys don't even have time to worry. You're parents. You're going to be parents right away.
So wait, what happens the whole time? So what if she'd been drinking and stuff?
Well, that's the danger. That is the
Oh
danger.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
No!
My wife burst into tears. I did my best to hold my composure and reassure her that everything was going to be all right. Like it wasn't the biggest event in our lives we were completely unprepared for. We decided to fast forward our nuptials. Around 10 o'clock that night, we visited a courthouse and legally bound ourselves in matrimony, signing our names on the official documents. I turned to my wife, reminding her that when I proposed, my intentions were sincere. I knew without a doubt that I wanted to spend my life with her, and that's what truly mattered to me. That night, I had to travel for work. I was up all night and not in the way I expected I would be on my wedding night. Rough. At work, I informed my boss of my situation and that I could have to unexpectedly leave at any time because my fiance, who was now my wife, could go into labor at any moment. That was a difficult conversation. That night, I came home from work. I have a 2-hour commute and work 10 hours 4 days a week. My wife was exhausted. She had to do 9 months worth of doctor's appointments in 1 day. That is tough. We both fell asleep quickly. About 3 hours later, she woke me up and said her water broke. She was having contractions and had to go to the hospital.
9 hours later.
9 hours later.
9 hours after your 9 months worth of appointments in 1 day. You're like, hey, it's time.
It's time now.
Hope you had a full night's sleep.
We timed the contractions and found that they were only 5 minutes apart and rushed to the hospital. We didn't even have a go bag or car seat. Nothing. My wife's labor was only 3 hours and she did not get an epidural because it happened so fast. Girl, speed run that. She speed ran that. What?
Man, by the time they get home, the baby's going to have like a college diploma.
Yeah. I remember thinking, wow, I can't believe this is happening so fast, but that seemed to be the trend. Before I knew it, I held my son for the first time and it didn't even hit me. I was still in shock and disbelief, but I was happy and immensely proud of my wife.
Yeah, as you should be. She
Yeah.
just speed ran giving birth.
That's crazy. We stayed in the hospital for 3 days and found that my son was healthy. I was so nervous something would be wrong because my wife had no prenatal care. For those 3 days, I took care of my son while my wife was still recovering. I did not rest. I was either preparing our house for his arrival or taking care of my son. I literally had nothing ready. I know fathers often say that they are not ready, but I literally wasn't. Somehow I managed to get the essentials with help from friends. It was time to go home, and that scared me the most. The hospital was just going to let us go with this surprise baby and wished me good luck. The drive home was overwhelming. All of a sudden, I had a family of my own. I'd never driven so slow in my life. For the next 3 days, I let my wife sleep. I did not sleep for 5 days straight. Dude, what?
Welcome to baby.
I took care of my son at night and worked on essential tasks all day. There was just too much to do. It got to the point where I could not function anymore. Yeah, I mean, you're past the delirious state. I've never been so tired and delirious in my life. Yeah, you're in like hallucinating state. What's the longest? Is it like 10 days or something?
I don't know. There's some creepypasta about the
Yeah.
Russian sleep experiment. I personally think you could just never sleep. That's wrong. Don't do that.
Well, yeah, you could do that until you pass away.
You can sleep.
And it would
You should
it would be
sleep.
short.
Although it is crazy that scientists don't know exactly why we need sleep, but they just know we do.
Our brains are just so active. Finally, my wife was feeling a little bit better and let me get rest for 1 night. I did not know to save my PTO from work, and I only had 1 week. They didn't even give you freaking...
God.
Oh my God, they didn't give you paternity leave?
This sounds like the worst That's it. I'm gonna
anything.
stop
Yeah,
there.
it
That
sounds like the worst. They were literally constant things that were important and needed to get done. Even with my wife's help, there just wasn't enough time. My wife and I were in survival mode. I look back and don't understand how we were able to function. We didn't have much help. My family was away on a cruise and had quite a surprise when they got cell service again, but we managed. I was about to say, where is your family? To be fair, they didn't have any knowledge that you were having a child.
Another nightmare element of this scenario.
Yeah. Now it is 2 months later and things are just starting to settle down. I realize I'm starting to process what happened. For the past 2 months, I've just been in survival mode, and now it's hitting me how much happened in 1 week. It's like my mind couldn't process how fast reality was. It feels like I ran a 3-second quarter mile. I did have a slight mental breakdown recently. Fair.
I'm breaking down right now.
Aw.
I'm not really. I'm just my eyes are watery because I think I'm tired. But
Aw. Do you want
but-
something to drink?
this is. I never knew I should be afraid of this. Now I'm going to be.
Just, yeah, every couple weeks you just tell your partner, go get a test.
You make sure you're not secretly pregnant.
Make sure not secretly, but we don't know. We never know.
How do we know?
I feel like most people think that time has passed and everything's okay now, but it's lately that it's been hitting me so much harder. How much my life changed. I love my wife and son, but I cannot help looking back and feel like I should have done more and been more prepared. I think every parent feels that way at times. Now I know what everyone's going to ask. How did you not know? That's the number one question I get and my wife gets as well, but there was literally no signs. My wife had no morning sickness, did not show. My wife even claims to have had her normal cycle the whole time. Yeah, that is a case for, there are certain women who will have cryptic pregnancies and still get their period. Just 2 weeks before my son was born, we had no idea he even existed. Is it wrong that now that things worked out, I feel the weight of what happened? No, not at all. That's the thing is when you go through something so crazy like this, where you literally don't get to rest for a moment, it doesn't hit you until you get that moment of like, oh, okay, I get to breathe now. Whoa, my life is insane. Like, that's okay. You're coming to terms with it, and that's fine.
Yeah, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I'm in awe of you.
Yeah, I'm like, OP, give yourself a break. It does not, you don't have to be like overjoyed all the time. You're allowed to take a minute and say, wow, this is really not how I expected my life to go. And also, mourn for the time you lost in preparation. That's okay. But just like, no, you're doing the best you can. Take it one day at a time. Comments. Comment 1. It isn't wrong to feel the overwhelming feeling of everything that happened, but try to enjoy it and get settled in. I have 4 kids now, and I can honestly say you're never ready, even after the first one. You both had a blessing in disguise. Our first baby, it was worrying about everything leading up to the birth. Finances, getting the house ready, trying to get us ready. The very short window may have been exhausting, but in the long run, you save at least 6 months of stress. Even when you have all those months to prepare, it really is close to having all the time for some reason. There isn't time to get everything done. Kudos to you guys for getting it figured out even faster. The no sleep, no time off, autopilot you have to go into would have happened anyway. I had to work on and off the day our first was born. Wow. I worked right across from the hospital. I had to go back and forth because her labor was so long and my work was not prepared for me to be gone yet. But you should try and enjoy full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search Poke Storytime. That pisses me off when work does not, give proper maternity, leave.
It should be criminal.
Should be. It is amazing what we can do when we have to. Try to enjoy it. And folks, that is the end of that story.
Wow.
My parents want me to babysit my sister, but they refuse to pay me.
Well, you should have thought about that before you were born.
I, 17 female, have a 9-month-old baby sister, and I am tired of all the comments that I should always be babysitting her, but part of me feels so bad. Reddit, am I the a-hole? By the way, this comes from FastCover70, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/showcase storytime subreddit. For context, I'm very close with my mother, 40 female, as she was a single mother for most of my upbringing and had me somewhat young, so we've always been close. My whole life, my mother has always said she does not want more kids, which is understandable because of the BS my dad put her through. This, however, changed when she met her now husband, 45 male, who is an actual angel sent from above. He is so nice and treats me and mom like we are queens. He took me in as his own when I was 15. With this being said, he expressed how much he wanted a kid of his own to raise from a baby. which is fair. Also, the mom's like pushing 40 at this point.
I mean, that's like, I feel like you can. It's probably the tail end, but I feel like now there's been like a lot of
40-year-olds. Apparently,
sure
there's
there's a
more
lot of
40-year-olds
science.
pregnant than 16-year-olds pregnant.
That's good. I think that's
Right.
good.
My mother agreed with the condition that they get married first to avoid everything that happened with my dad to happen again. Now to the story. I was the first person my parents told that they were pregnant, which makes sense because we were all so close, and I was aware that they were trying for a baby. At this time, I had just turned 16. Now, don't get me wrong. From the very beginning, I have been over the moon over the new addition to the new family. I love kids and have a history of working with them. I also have a brother, 11, on my dad's side, and grew up with many kids around. Big Latina family. So, I am good with kids and know how to properly care for them. Now, where the problem comes in. As soon as my mom got pregnant, my parents always joked about how they have a built-in babysitter since I'm so much older than the baby. They always talk about how I should help more with the baby. Now, I would understand this if I did nothing, but I help out a lot. I'm the main cook in the house. I cook pretty much every dinner, and I'm expected to be home in time to cook if I'm out, with the exception of youth group. I am also responsible for all of the dishes. Like, I come home from school every day, and my parents' lunch dishes are in the sink for me to do. I come home from youth at like 10 p.m., and all the dinner dishes are there for me to do before bed while my parents are already asleep. I clean the entire house every week. On top of all this, I'm also just busy. I do a lot, and I'm gone for like a week at a time pretty much every holiday. I'm away leading a kids camp. I have a lot of schoolwork as well since I'm in my last year of school, and I do really well in school. I'm very involved at church as well as most weekends. I'm gone at some point at church. We all have a joke about how I'm never home because I'm a social butterfly and I get up to lots, and my parents never make an issue of this. In fact, they are very supportive and love that I do heaps. I'm a good kid. I don't drink or smoke. I don't really go to parties, etc. Sounds like me, but without the dishes part. But dude, that helps a lot whenever it comes to stuff. So that might help, but otherwise, it's a lot to expect a 17-year-old to do all the dishes and to cook. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, it's like 17 is like they're really starting to be like come and to feel like they're their own person, and it just feels weird to like kind of double down on like, I don't know. I think if you decided to have another child, it's like you need to know that you've decided to raise another child.
Yeah.
And it's unfair to like take the last years of OP's like childhood
Yeah.
and make her the parent.
Yeah. The issue lies in how I spend my free time at home. I usually want some time to myself and chill in my room, either watching a movie, reading a book, chatting to friends, etc. I also, of course, hang out with my family and my baby sister. I love my baby sister so much. I love hanging out with her. I don't want this to come across as if I don't want to be around her or anything. I think there's a difference in hanging out with my sister when I'm home and babysitting her. I used to be a babysitter, and it's hard work. I think that if they expect me to care for her to the extent that I'm babysitting her instead of just spending my free time with my sister, I should be getting paid. My parents refuse to give me money for anything. They fill the fridge and pay the bills, but that's it. Anything else I'm expected to pay for myself, to the point that my mom has a notes page where she keeps note of the debt I owe her. But you're a kid. What?
You have debt now?
They paid a bill at school for me. Debt noted. They paid for me to go to teens camp. Debt noted. I'll ask to borrow $10 because I don't carry cash. Debt noted. I paid them back for everything, which is whatever, but that's just how it works.
Nuh-uh. What? That's not how that's supposed to work. Really? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, like, there's a difference between it being like, all right, let's learn fiscal responsibility. Like, let's learn the concept of debt and having to pay stuff back, pay stuff off. Like, my mom just did that with my cousin. It's like, my mom helped my cousin buy her first car.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to take out a loan. She just is like, I'm going to give you the money and then you're going to pay me back every month.
Yeah.
So it's,
So it works.
that's good. But this is nonsense.
Yeah. If you expect me to do a job that I used to actually be paid for, and I invest my money to qualify myself for, I think I deserve to be paid, even if it's my sister. Again, I don't mind hanging with my sister, and I do it often in my free time. The difference is babysitting would mean clearing my schedule to care for her, feeding her, changing her, etc. My hanging out with her does get her off my parents' hands for a bit so they can do stuff, but if they want more, they can pay someone else that's qualified or pay me. I'm also not saying this as if I expect a crap ton of money. I don't expect much money at all, just a bit of change or something for my time. That makes sense. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I'm moving out next year, and I already have plans as to what I'm going to do, but I just want to know if I'm overreacting and if I should just suck it up and babysit. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? It just depends on where your family is financially. If it's a tough spot where they're both working like a lot of jobs and they can't, afford it, then maybe suck it up and be like, well, you might have to do that. But if they can afford it, bro.
It's very contextually dependent because it's like if certain things lined up, even if money was that tight though, I still don't understand being like, oh yeah, I'll make my 17-year-old daughter indebted to me. It's like that's not.
Yeah.
It's like I'm sure we've all had our parents like at some point be like, how much money I've spent on you over the years. I know I have. And it's like but not in like a mean, toxic, terrible. It's just like something that comes out in a moment.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Kids are expensive. They're not cheap. But like you can't hold that over them.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm almost like maybe we get out of here. Do you have any friends you can stay with? Because it's like, I'm concerned.
Update. Quite a few people are saying I'll have some trouble leaving the house, but this is not true. My parents are 100% supportive of me leaving next year. I already have an internship on on-site housing lined up, and they're over the moon, excited for me to go, and are actively planning for me to solidify my plans for next year and the following. I don't think they don't support her. She does a lot of like social stuff.
It's
just the at-home chores.
There's just a strange, I don't know. There's something, I can't even put my finger on it.
There's like an ominous vibe.
Yeah, ominous is a good word. There's just something like lurking underneath all of this where it's like, what's the real core of this, like the issue with the family dynamic?
Yeah. I am planning to use this internship as a gap year and save some money before I go to the school I want to go to in the South Island. We live in the North Island, and they have my back with this big move. We live in New Zealand for context. I appreciate all the concern, and I understand that this situation is rough, but you have to remember that this is just one small aspect of my life, and I did not mention any of the amazing things about my parents or all that they do for me. The reason I pay my school bills, only extra stuff, for example, my shirt from my sports class, is because I was homeschooled as my parents are against the school system and did not want me in school. I understand why they think this. And I also don't love some aspects of school and how rude kids can be. I was bullied heaps growing up, but decided to rejoin school for my senior years. We are not in a super good financial situation, so when talking about rejoining school, I said I would pay for extra costs like this if that meant I could go. Okay, so that's kind of their financial area.
Yeah.
Also with baby, I never once been forced to take care for her or wake up in the middle of the night for her. It's just that they want me spending more time with her when I'm just in my room. I'm just annoyed at some of these comments, and I want the peace of mind that I am, in fact, in the right in this situation. With the debt ledger, as you guys are calling it, my parents put it in place because I used to be really bad with my money. They started asking me to pay them back for things that I didn't absolutely need as a way to teach me that money has value and that I can't just throw it away. It's a bit excessive if you ask me, but it's what works at the moment. It is also not insanely strict, like it's not down to the cents or anything. It's a rough estimate. And if I'm a little short, they'll just wipe off the rest. They are also up for negotiation over this ledger, and there have been times where I've paid them later because there was something I wanted to do. And you owe us, by the way, all your time and well-being. And the way to pay us back is to go to your favorite podcast platform, search up OK Storytime on Apple, Spotify, or iHeartRadio, and pay us by listening to all the 65 days of content we got.
You owe us. 66 days. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Yep. I'm just gonna finish this out. I mean, there doesn't seem like. I feel like OP's got it pretty much figured out. She's a smart kid.
I'm confused now, though, man. It's like how we went from like I was like, this is like so bad. It's like almost like financial abuse in a way. And now OP's like, I mean, it's not even really that bad. I was literally terrible with money, and they're not like down to the cent about it. And now I'm like, wait. Where am I? What do I think now? I don't even know.
I didn't think it was
just did a 180.
I didn't think it was super forceful at the beginning.
What?
I didn't think that they were really bad parents. It's just like, hey, we expect this of you. Just high expectations for a kid.
Well, also, I think I was thinking that there was more responsibility for the baby as well. I imagine
she has to cook, and then whenever she's hanging out in her room, she has to watch a kid.
Yeah.
My mom, as well as the rest of us, are doing the best we can with what we have. We come from a very dysfunctional family and are both trying our best to break those generational traumas. With this being said, my mom saved me from a lot, and I don't know where I would be without her. She is a great mom at the end of the day, but she has her faults, as we all do. My parents are not controlling of me either. I'm allowed to leave home and go do stuff whenever I want, and I have travel heaps by myself for some very long periods of time. They don't check my phone, they never come in my room, etc. They just have these rules with the cooking and cleaning and such. That's my way to help out around the house. With all this being said, thank you for confirming that I am in fact not crazy here. I'm excited to leave home and move on to my very exciting plans, and my parents are happy for me too. They have been supporting me every step of the way, and they're actually the ones that convinced me that I should go for this internship.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it just sounds like you got a year left of this.
I think I was just way off on the debt repayment.
Yeah.
I feel like it actually is it's the same lesson. It's like, okay, you want this? Fine, we'll get you this, but you have to pay us back.
Yeah.
Because this is just a nonsense thing.
Yeah.
And I guess I can get that because you're not saying no, you can't have that. It's like, yeah, you can have it. You're gonna have to pay for it though, especially if money's really tight. Like if that's the case, which OP kind of alluded to at the end there. Well, I mean, I'm happy that the family dynamic feels better than I was anticipating.
Yeah. No, it just seems they're very supportive of her going to like youth group and traveling and all that jazz.
Yeah.
She's a social butterfly. You just got to cook and clean.
I think the issue is because the title was, it's like they won't pay me for babysitting, but it's like I don't know if they can. If the money is tight.
And OP probably seems like a very effective person. She's spending time with her sister where she could be spending time at a job or doing some other work. She's just probably looking for another source.
Yeah.
But that's
Teenage
it. That's the end of the
angst.
story and the end of the stream and the end of everything that we know to be.
That's because tomorrow's a new day.